Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Pedropoulos podcast. It's another beautiful Saturday and a very good evening to you if you live here in Europe or in Italy, and all my viewers, my followers around the world. I send my greetings to you all, and a very special evening to Tiasha Castellic Asomani.
Hello.
How is you doing? Like our friends across the Atlantic will say.
And like Nigerians say, Adeo. How your
I
sides?
do. Don't it do you? Don't it do you? Don't it do you? You're welcome. It's such a wonderful thing to see you again, and I'm really grateful. It's a pleasure for me
Likewise.
to do this beautiful show again today with you. I know it was hot the other time we were here because these topics are really difficult to confront together as friends, even as a collective. It is actually something that is very difficult to approach because nobody
Yep.
wants to step on each other's toe. We want to be respectful. However, these are discussions that need to have been had a very long time ago. Or rather, I will say, I want to be fair on us as a society. These things has always been talked about. It's just that no matter how these things are talked about, we really do not learn from our mistake. If you remember, Tiasha, some time ago we did a show when we asked if people really learn from their mistake,
Hmm.
learning to if people live to learn or they learn to live. And during that show, you coined a very important phrase. I have not written it on the marble or put it on the wall like you asked to, but you said that we should learn to live to learn how to live. Live to learn how to live. That was how you said it.
Yep. Yeah.
And that is what I believe is missing in this particular discussion that has to do with men versus women, that has to do with emancipation of us as a society and in particular as people, that have to do with husbands and wife or those that are in a long committed relationship. Oftentimes
Hmm.
we forget, we take things for granted, and we have expectation of each other, but that is not well communicated. Or at the same time, we have different dreams and vision that is not united, that is not aligned, excuse me, and we tend to take it upon our spouse, which shouldn't have been. And not to talk about that, we all know by now, at least I expect us to know by now that look, we should stop deceiving ourselves that we are all equal. But we can work together, yes. Deceiving ourselves that we are all equal will not fly in real life. It may make me feel good. Probably I'm going through certain things. I need that affirmation. I need that validation, yes. But in real life scenario, there is a huge distinction between us. Except the person is a teenager or the person is genuinely driven by an ideology, the truth of the matter is that we are equal before the law, but we are way different in real life. And one thing that I find difficult as a man, and I'm being specific, I'm even putting gender into this particular, just to make this example. One thing that I find difficult, at least in my 30s and above, with the little experience that I've had in life, is how to tell my counterparts, the female folks, that what they respond to is quite different from what they say. As a species, as a human being, or generally, does this have to do with biology? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not expert in that particular area, but I have come to realize as a person, as a human being, that on average, even when it comes to dating, when it comes to approaching things in life, despite the fact that we are different generally, we have the way we approach things in life as a human being between men and women. But I have noticed in my own little way that oftentimes what women respond to is quite different from what they say. And just to illustrate this, my example is this: women, on average, especially it depends on how old they are as well, they will say that they need a perfect gentleman. A perfect gentleman on a very good day, like women themselves would say, perfect gentleman, somebody that is nice in bracket, make their body dry. It doesn't do anything for them. That is why no matter how intelligent women are at times, they still end up tying themselves down in relationship with people that even I, as a man, I will be so I end up being so shocked. Like, what are you doing with that bomb? I expect you to
Mhm.
have known better.
Mhm.
You tell me things that are way different from who you are aligned with at the moment. Why is that the case? I mean, I think that's the first question I will ask in the show tonight. And I'm very pleased to ask of you, Tiasha, as at least one of the female folks. If you still identify as a woman, that's a different discussion entirely. But I don't want to polemize our discussion. So, do I have your permission to describe you as a woman? One.
I am a
And
full woman.
perfect.
I am.
Then,
Yeah. The you see, this is no. It's sad. We shouldn't be even asking that. Oh.
but
So yeah.
we want to be respectful of everyone.
Oh, come on. There are
The
two
last time I spoke
genders.
with you, the last
Do
time
I
we
look
saw each
like
other
a
was
man?
1 week ago. I don't know what may have transpired between then to now.
My masculinity.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. So, really, on a serious note, Tiasha, have you noticed it yourself as a woman? I really want us to speak honestly concerning this.
Mhm.
Is it a is it a tendency that you have observed, even in your fellow women, that they oftentimes tend to respond to things differently other than what they say?
Mhm. Yeah.
And why
And
is the
I think
case?
that I'm guilty of that as well, probably sometimes. Not probably. Yeah, I am. I don't know. You mentioned like, is it natural? Is it biological? I really don't know. But I feel like sometimes when if I look into myself deep down, and I think that also those people that are close to me,
Hmm.
it has a lot to do with self-confidence.
Okay.
um
Really?
like the case you just described, right? For example, when a woman, like, they are looking for a gentleman and that. But oftentimes, like, if you go into details and you're gonna ask what is a gentleman for you, can they even answer it? I think is that, like, just a word. I don't know. Do you want a man to open the door for you, or like you want a man to randomly bring you flowers? Do you want a man, when you go to a restaurant, for example, to pull the chair out for you? Is that a gentleman? Or, we are talking about somebody who, respects you in a society, like, who shows the love, who is not afraid to show, even outside of the four walls. It goes like deeper. Like, for example, I'm the type of a person, I never from a man expected to open the door for me. Like, I find it very, uh, but that's me, right? If we can go in a detail now. Um,
Hmm.
do I want random flowers? I don't want random flowers. I don't even want flowers on Valentine's. This is not what it's about.
Really?
You know? Yeah, for me, no. Me personally.
Personally. Hmm.
Personally, no. Because, like, okay, yeah, there are some gestures like that will show you, but, like, you know, Pedro, the easiest thing is to stop at the shop or a flower shop or wherever you want to buy a bucket of flowers. You come, you give it to a woman, and all the problems are solved. For me, it goes deeper than that. Like, I would like you to, then those 5-10 minutes you spent, driving around looking for, I don't know, a rose, to sit down with me and have a conversation. Yeah, but that's me. And I know, like, when we are talking, right, a lot of women will say, my man does this for me, my man does this for me, he's treating me nice and stuff. But you ask, like, so, I don't know, lately, what has he done? He was just being nice. Yeah, I understand, but what nice has he done? Well, just the regular. No, I don't know. Because what is nice for you might not be nice for me, or I might take it for granted, or you might take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so
So
true.
I I think like yeah, no, I came across that and I think that sometimes, as you said, maybe the way we are thinking or like seeing things and then saying it is different.
Hmm.
I might not find now exactly, the perfect example to give you, but I think as a woman I'm also guilty of that. Like I will say that I want or need something, and then maybe I'll get it and I'll completely like, I don't know, react differently. You understand? So mm, yeah, it's happening, and I do I think that's among all of us. I can't speak, but I think the majority. Yeah, your statement is accurate.
Thank you so much, Jesus Christ, for the for the first time, for the first time, a woman said that my statement is accurate. Oh my God, I'm
Because
gonna go
no,
home to celebrate.
ouch. And be careful what you say. Your wife is also watching. Um, um, yes, Pedro, we can't deny the truth. Like, although it came from a man's mouth, and although it might be like just like, you know, something that you guys might think of, it might not even be known as a fact. I can't deny it because the truth is
Mhm.
completely different. You know what I mean?
That's
No,
true. That's
we
true.
are we are here to be real, and this is how I'm gonna say. Yeah, there are women that might not, but I highly doubt it. I personally cannot point a finger on any of a female that I know that I could say, your statement doesn't stand with her.
That's true.
Mm.
At times it's an opportunity. It's not as if I don't know if I should say apologize or restate the things that I said last week because when I said that women said they need freedom, even in
Mhm.
marriage, because somebody
Mhm.
called me and said, why could I say things like that? That women, it's not as if women are not able to decide. I am not saying that women in general do not know what they're doing because the statement that I made was in response to a particular context and a particular question that is specific in a particular area. So it's not as if, even if I spoke in general, it's not as if I was accusing anybody. And I stand with my statement as well. And if there is anything at all, I'm doubling down on it in the sense that I wish women in real life, in our society, will make a definite decision and stand on it, things would have changed a lot for the society as a whole.
You know what? I feel like that sometimes, because you know it same goes for us women. Like you men don't understand us women because the way we are emotional, the level of what we can handle in that, you know, on that level, it's not
Mhm.
understandable to you. And like I get it, and that's how I, for example, cannot relate to how your brain works and how your
Yeah,
mentality works.
that's so
And I
true.
think that this is where this difference comes in so clear. And I get what you try to say, but I think that, as a man, you are saying those things because you do not understand. But then
Absolutely.
at the same time, also, I wanna say this. As good as a communicator we women are known to be, and
Absolutely.
as like
In
as
fact, we do it too much.
yeah, in
It come
your
across
eyes
too
we
much most
do.
of the time.
But I always say, listen, when the woman talks and she complains and she nags, just remember one thing: she cares.
So true. That
Because
is a
when
fact.
the woman stops doing that, then I'm sorry, my friend, you're in deep shit. Because either she's about to leave or she's gonna drop a bomb on you.
That's so true. That's so true.
And when they say, "Oh, you talk too much," and I'm like, "Listen, okay, fine. If I stop talking, the first thing, like, for example, good example, it happens. I'm married. You understand? Although everything is
Yes.
smooth and great and whatever, there come in arguments, and like if I get upset and I get emotional or like fired up or whatever, uh, obviously I flip. I will say my peace of mind, and if I have a feeling like, for example, he's not listening, I'm gonna be repeating myself, and then he'll be like, "Yeah, but I said that," and I said, "Yeah, but I didn't get a response from you." I'm communicating to get the response. Either look at me or tell me to fuck off or tell me what your peace of mind is. I need a response. Don't blank me because I'm gonna be a broken CD. You understand? I'm gonna be keep repeating. But like it came to a point like, when obviously he flips, for example, because I'm flipping, and then he's like, we better shut up and stuff like that. And I'm like, you want me to be quiet? Oh, I'm gonna be quiet. But then don't come to me and say hello to me because I'm being quiet. You just asked me to be quiet. And we didn't solve the problem. You understand? And it's not, you might not see it as a problem, but the fact that I am there as your partner and I am going through some shit emotionally or whatever, like I said, tell me to fuck off. Just tell me something. You get what I mean? And this is where it's coming from. And then
True.
it happened. I remember just like I don't know some time ago when it was like that, and I had like my quiet moment. I needed my peace of mind. I was so angry. I was so fired up, but he didn't like it, and I'm like, you see, this is how it would look like because if I stop caring, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop fighting because that's natural for us. We are so passionate about everything. You understand? And I always say, especially for men, they need to understand that when we love, and I said it last time, when we
Hmm.
love, we love. We don't joke. Forget about like there are women and is cheating going on and stuff. But trust me, when they love, they love. And sometimes, trust me, it
The
is
same
better
thing
to
happen
listen
when
to
you no
that.
longer love. The same thing happen when you no longer love because when a woman is fed up, there is nothing you can do about it.
Exactly, exactly. But let's focus on a positive side, right? And say,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're still in a relationship, just allow her to nag. Sometimes she needs to let it go. As men need to let go in their own way, maybe to go sit in a bathroom on a toilet. You understand? She's getting and gathering her peace by talking. And sometimes it's so sad, but I feel like we women are just wired like that. We will be loud and we'll complain to be noticed. And I think that the woman gets the loudest and stuff when she feels like she's not being recognized. And I'm not talking about recognized as being equal, but recognized as a human being, as like a part of the relationship, marriage, partnership, however you want to call it, you know? And it's like that, seek for the attention. Whatever happened in the situation, whatever she needs, but like whether she needs affection, whether she needs affirmation, whether she needs
Hmm.
emotional support, like it's that.
So
Uh,
true.
um, it's sad that we are like that, and then men are wired differently and they don't understand that. But yeah, they say women always nag, and I always tell back, and I say it to my husband as well. You always tell me that I nag, but if I tell you that you never listen, it's the same fucking shit. You get what I mean? So like you can be tell I'm gonna be nagging as long as you won't be listening. So now you decide whether you want to listen because it's not always. I feel like people are always how should I put this? For example, like when it comes to this arguments and like maybe disagreements or just like heated conversations or however you want to call or normal ones, right?
Hmm.
They often say like even the last time when we had the conversation, we focused a lot, like especially when you and Frank had a word, and then when we women spoke, it was more like defending what you said. So
Mm.
only one side was kind of a covered. The fact that men often just like see themselves. I am that, man figure, father figure, if there are children involved, and I'm like the head of a house, I'm the boss, I'm the king and stuff. Um, and they often then think that nothing is wrong with them, like they've done nothing wrong. But I always say, listen, for a woman to get fired up, for her to actually notice something needed to happen. Now,
Yeah.
whether you've done it, you've both done it, or something triggered from the outside environment. But most likely, the passion, and her nagging comes from you doing something as a man. Something was like not standing with her.
That is
And
true.
I often hear like, you know, um, yeah, you should do this and you should do that and you should change and stop talking and give me peace, leave me alone. And, even Frank said, how, that honor and stuff. And I'm like, I want to say back to that. I I will respect you and I'll honor you as a head of a house when you behave like one. Because if you want to be a leader, you also need to be a supporter. Because if you want to lead something, you can't lead something that is very unhealthy. So, if you portray yourself as that top of the top, then act like it. But I feel like it's like if we take marriage as an institution, right? And let's say a man is a boss on top. Let's say that he is a CEO. How successful is the company that all those under him, the workers, the whatever, right, are pushing you up? How long can they be pushing you up without your support back down? Do you as a
Difficult.
CEO, do you recognize then what the workers that are below you in that case have done for you? Now, some companies will increase the salary, some companies will give like stimulation, some motivational kind of a thing, maybe awards, like, I don't know, worker of the month and stuff like that. You know, that means that he recognizes you. And you as a worker, right? You feel like boosted. I've been noticed. Now, why isn't it like that in a marriage? Like, if you are considered a CEO, and I'm talking now, we are going, single married women. We are talking about now the trouble that people are going through.
Absolutely.
Forget about
Absolutely.
successful
Please go on.
marriages, and yeah. So he's on top, right? And you have, I don't know, a wife who is, I don't know, let's say a manager, right? Who carries all the shit, and then you have kids and probably, I don't know, some pets and stuff. How do you expect, in this case, a manager to be keep going and your workers to be keep going if you just want to be, I don't know, there and sit on your chair and that's it? It doesn't work like that. Because either the manager will leave and take the workers with him, her, you know or you as a CEO will collapse. And there is no goddamn way, if you fail this company as a CEO with this mentality, that you can establish a new one with the same mentality that is going to be successful, because it's not going to work,
That is true.
right?
That is
and
true.
and this is where the problem lies. And even last week, I wanted to say, like, I understand what you men are trying to say, but we need to talk about the men that do not step up in their own institutions called marriage, partnership, relationship, whatever they have at that moment, right? And as offensive as this might sound, I'm like, no, listen, in order for you to be treated like a king, you need to go through some shit. You need to earn that title.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And it's just like, Pedro, this is real.
No, if you want
Like
to be treated like a king, you have to have the crown on your head. We have to see the crown that
exactly. But
will greet you
that
all in
crown,
majesty.
exactly, and that crown gets polished by who? You know what I mean? Like,
The
yeah,
subject of the
no,
king.
it's just like you need to keep on going. And I just came across, I think it was yesterday, there was a video, I mean, obviously these reels and stuff, you know, how men started now speaking, you know, about how they should treat women. There was one
Okay.
particular guy who was close to a divorce who said, "Listen, I never sat down and spoke to my wife. Um, I've been so egocentric. I've been, you know, avoiding the dramas, the issues, the stuff." Said, but you know, during the course of us, you know, trying to work it out, and her telling me that it's not working out, it's not gonna work out, you
Mm-hmm.
know, considering a split and stuff. Said I started realizing that if I sit down with her for even 10 minutes a day
Mm-hmm.
and speak about her day, how does she feel, and what can we do to make situation whichever we found ourselves in better, she has changed. And you see, like,
That's a great thing.
that that's what I said before, right? It doesn't take a lot. Sit
Yes,
down,
that is
listen to
true. It
her,
doesn't take a lot,
observe her.
Joshua. It doesn't take a
Yes.
lot, but it's just that a lot of people, they do not have they have not grown that ability or developed that ability or competent among themselves to be able to know their spouse, to know what tickles them and what doesn't, to be able to communicate with gestures without even saying a word. So,
Mm-hmm.
there are different type of couples out there in the world. There are couples that are friends. There are couples, they become friends and thicker than a brother. You know, you will meet one
Mm-hmm.
outside. What that particular couple, one of them outside will tell you, without that person meeting the other one inside, when you meet the other one inside, the response will align with the one that you met outside gave to you. I'm just using this as an example. It doesn't happen with everybody, but some couples are able to understand themselves to the extent that when they speak, they are like twin. They think alike, they do things alike. It's not the best option, however, but I am just saying that some people take their time to get to know their spouse or
Mm-hmm.
their significant other to that extent. At times,
Mm-hmm.
it could be used to manipulate the other psychologically because they know the person so well, they can predict the person and everything. So it's a double-edged sword as we speak. However, we are looking at the positive side today. That is the issue that happens with most people. And I don't know if you have finished your thought because I'm waiting patiently because I
No,
want to talk about
yeah,
partnership
like
and
we.
the things you've mentioned. I want to be able to talk. There are some important points in it that I would like to speak on.
Yeah.
So, especially when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
marriage, you use the word as institution. We know for a fact that it's an institution. Let us even forget about the arrangement, the thing that leads to marriage, why it is necessary, why it is not necessary. Let's concentrate on two people that decide to build together.
Mm-hmm.
There is this general saying in the world that look, for two people to go on a journey, they have to agree together.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, people only consider the butterflies in the stomach. There is a saying in my country that most people think about the wedding day, not the marriage itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because a friend told me once, some time ago, being a Christian, he uses a Christian like example, like to explain why or how he believes marriage should be. It's, it's a daily it's a daily vow that you have to renew every blessed day of your life with the person that you are living with. Because the things, just like life itself, the things that were true to the two of you 2, 3 years ago can no longer be true today. The
Mm-hmm.
marriage that you have when you didn't have kids are different
Mm-hmm.
from the marriage that you have when children come into the picture. It's going to be different
Yes.
again when the children are grown up and have left the house for colleges and everything. One. And secondly, women, we are very binary in our thinking, and we tend oftentimes to stick to the agreement that we had yesterday. At
Mm-hmm.
times, we forget that things have changed, and it is the woman that is saying, speaking with the reality of today, but the man is still on the day before yesterday, the agreement we had where we are supposed. That's even the reason why something that I'm guilty of, even as a man, when men keep asking, what does women really want? Why do they keep changing their mind? It's not as if women like changing their mind, or generally, yes, that's the reality. But this changing of mind, oftentimes for a woman, is in line with the new reality that is different from
Mm-hmm.
yesterday and the today that she's
Yeah.
not living, which
Yeah.
oftentimes men, at times being slow, we don't notice it sometimes.
Is it,
But
sorry, is it
okay,
that, or sometimes it's also your ego that doesn't allow you to really accept the fact that something needs to change, and it can't always go the way you thought that is the best? Or because I feel like oftentimes, sorry, I'm gonna let you just to explain. Oftentimes, I feel like that the stature that you present in a household, you use it into a whole nother level, and then you believe that whatever you do, say, or think or plan is the best way for the family, is the best way, and you don't let um, a woman maybe decide for either herself or the family, or just like contribute her thought in it. Like you stick to that, like, no, if I explained
contribute
it.
contribute her thought is very, very welcome. In fact, that is what most men dream about. That is what, when men ask what you bring to the table, obviously they are not
Hmm.
asking in terms of economic terms. They are
Yeah, yeah,
asking
yeah.
in terms of the support, the reasoning,
Hmm.
how you will be able to help them expand their horizon, their
Yeah.
conquest of the world. These
Okay.
things are not palatable to a lot of people. They sound rude and too radical for some people, because especially those of us in the West, where we just like things cozy and all that.
Hmm.
So men generally would prefer a woman that would bring them peace and
Hmm.
collaborative. Because last week you were asking, what does men really want? I didn't have the possibility to intervene in that particular aspect. Men, on average, across culture, we we prefer a woman that will keep quiet and just listen in their own interpretation.
Hmm.
Keep quiet and listen. What does this mean? Somebody that will collaborate, will say yes to what they are saying in terms of plans for the future and everything, but we give the contribution in expanding and garnishing that decision that he brought, not belittling or saying this is complete nonsense and whatsoever. That is what men hate the most. That's the reason why oftentimes men believe when they have a woman that, in their opinion, is not collaborative, they see the woman as equal, and you're equal in a man's world, you fight. You want to defeat and move on. The conflict oftentimes comes from that area. And if you, across culture, if you ask men across the culture, across various society around the world, majority of them will tell you that they need a woman that will be able to collaborate with them. What do they mean with collaboration? In other words, simply means a woman that will keep quiet and listen to what they have to offer. That being said, that is the reason why oftentimes women that believe, that demonstrate masculine traits, that are assertive, determined,
Hmm.
maybe working in a particular sector, and trying to say what they have in mind all the time, a lot of men don't want to have anything to do with them in terms of relationship. We can work together, we can collaborate together. Oftentimes, a lot of men, when it comes to relationship, they would rather go away. They would rather not be involved in it. And that's the reason why a lot of women today, especially in the West, they are very educated, they are very opinionated and everything. They wonder why men, why they find it hard to attract some caliber of men that they prefer. Because there is one thing that as a woman or as a society we should always remember, that look, the idea of a man being able to provide for his family is something that is rooted or wired biologically in them. And I believe you have heard or you may have observed it by now. A lot of men suffer psychologically, emotionally, when for a fact, due to circumstances in their life, it is their woman that is shouldering the whole economic responsibility in the house. And mind you, the woman may not even be complaining. The man already would have been finding ways which a lot of men become troublemaker when they find themselves in that kind of situation. And it makes even life more difficult for women. Look, I believe today with what I have heard that it is better for a woman to be with a man to accept the naughty attitude of a man that can provide and work in his masculine state of mind and confidence than living with a man maybe for economic reasons is not able to shoulder the responsibility of the family and make life miserable for the woman. Most men that treat women badly are the ones that are not even doing better economically. Because a lot of things that women, apart from maybe cheating and not being able to determine where is her place in the life of the man or in the things that they are building together, it's more difficult at times due to economic circumstances and not being able to have a vision as a family. Because I'm saying all of this thing to arrive at a point that I really want to arrive to, which is to say that in every relationship, in every marriage, there has to be a vision, there has to be a destination, there has to be a reason why we are in this thing together. At times, some people believe it's just to have children, but at the end of the day, for two people to work together, there has to be a clear definition of where we are going to. And the vision we used to have while we were single cannot go according to how it was with the way it was structured when we were single. We can't pursue our dreams in that order being married. And one other thing that I will add is that what tends to bring confusion in this thing called relationship or marriage is oftentimes people don't want to, out of being politically correct, they don't want to attach the real meaning to what things are to them. My explanation is this. If you hear from women, women on average will speak about their marriage, describing it as partnership. Partner is my partner, we are equal, we are this, we are that. Men on average across culture talk in terms of my wife. For a man, there is a different meaning between my wife and partnership. My wife is somebody that you want to die for, you want to care for. You is somebody that you believe that you are responsible for. It's something very dear and unique that has to be protected and defended. But your partner or companion oftentimes are things that just with you for the meantime and may not be at the long run. You need a dog as a companion. You need a companion to go and watch the game, but you don't build a lifetime with a companion that you go to watch the game with. You don't build your lifetime with your friends, the people that you know. When it comes to a man building the nuclear family for him, which is the closest thing in his life to him in his life, his personal family, even though circumstances may make it look like most of them do not know that what is most important to them is the wife and the children. But oftentimes, what a man fights and die for is actually that nuclear family that he's building. And that is why how they feel, the position that they find themselves in that particular kingdom, that little world in the larger society that they've been able to put together, a woman they've been able to sell their dream to, they've been able to convince to partner with them in the long run. It is a sense of betrayal as far as they are concerned when the respect that they would have desire or wish for is not there. Mind you, I am not saying that they are perfect or it is right or wrong that they wish that life was like this. But the thing behind, the reasons behind most of their action, trying their best to be able to protect. And when we do this protection without communicating it perfectly to our personal, our significant other, it becomes a taboo. It becomes something of a limitation to that particular person because the vision, the larger vision is not shared. When we talk of misunderstanding in a relationship or marriage, oftentimes it is because of communication. And in psychology, as far as marriage and relationship in this realm is concerned, the three main things that destroy marriage, both for the rich and the poor, across the culture, are communication, lack of intimacy, and financial problem. In every marriage, after all said and done, an analysis of one of the dangerous one is lack of, no, I will not even say lack of communication, not being able to communicate our wants and needs or the direction of that particular unit to those involved in it. And I will let you speak, Tiasha.
That
And
that that goes for a man, right?
what most, eh?
That
You
goes
said?
for a man, you mean, like not being able to communicate.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
That is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Absolutely.
yeah.
And at times when we talk of ego, the problem with ego in our life as well, being egoistic and whatsoever, at times a man forgets that in his family, he is just a member of that family, despite the
Hmm.
fact that symbolically, and when the chips are down, he has to play that leadership role, whether he's prepared for it or not, because we can never be prepared for most things in our life. And that goes for a woman as well. If you wait for you to be fully ready for anything in life, you are not fit to be married, especially when it comes to that aspect in our life. A lot of emergencies continue to come up. You continue to learn every day. And that's the reason why I tend to agree with that friend that told me that, look, for him, marriage is like, to him, serving God is a vow that you renew every blessed day because new thing continue to come. If you stay with the state of mind that you were last week, it will become a problem because your woman may have something quite, may have read. You know, women are quick, Tiasha. Me and you could walk into the same room. You would have read that room in a way that I wouldn't.
Hmm.
My wife would tell me in the same on the same street that we walk by, the things that she saw, I don't think I even see half of it.
Hmm.
Does it mean that I'm stupid? No. But mind you, when it comes to observing again in some particular aspect of life, what is needed to be observed, she may not be a match to me. Yeah, I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying because the thing is
You
that
know what they say, Pedro? No, 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 no. Listen, what a man can do, a woman can do better.
it depends. It depends.
Well, you see, I could say the same.
Of course, of course. We are
uh,
talking. We are
it's
talking.
you know, I've listened to and it's so nice. It's almost like a dream in a way to hear like how it should be, but it is not like that.
Hmm.
And you mentioned also, and you see how women see it as a partnership and how men see it as a wife. I'm gonna start here. Um, I will still insist that I personally am not seeing marriage as a partnership because of equality, as gender equality or trait equality.
Hmm.
I see it as a partnership because it should be equally invested in. And I see it as a partnership. Oh, hello, this one is here now. You see, two men. Where is another woman? Jesus Christ, hello. I see it as a partnership because I feel like we women. It's not about us saying it. Yeah, we are equal. It is about us, like I said before, in a way trying to be recognized, not as equal as, again, as a gender role or as a role we play, but we see it as because we believe that what we invest into it, it's equally or should be invested from a man's side. You see, but you guys see it as, yeah, women want to be equal, but we will never be equal. But the thing is that when we are talking about, even the way I see it, when this like gender equality and stuff, when it comes out and people talk about it, I don't see it as, you know I'm same as a man. Like, first of all, I don't even want to be same as a man, apart from, honestly, the only thing that I'm really jealous of you guys having is like the ability to pee while you are standing. This is the only thing that I'm envy of. Uh, Apart from that, like, there is nothing like that. I don't want to be equal. I want to be me. I want to be a woman. But then at the same time, when you said, men see, women as wives, or a girlfriend or whatever it is at that stage of their journey, and you said, that means, like, a man would die for her, and blah 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 blah. It's so nice to hear that. But then, if you want to die for that person and you treat her as a wife, like, why don't you treat her like that behind four walls as well? Why? Because it's very easy to go out. Like, okay, fine, we are married. Many people now wear rings on their fingers, so from far away you can tell that somebody's married. I get that. And then you go and you introduce your wife, oh, that's my wifey or whatever. Oh, how nice of you. When was the last time you spoke so nicely to me behind four walls? It's just like, I feel like I get what you're saying, and I want it to be true. And I want it to be like that, and I want it to be, the way it's supposed to be, but it is not. And today we're going to focus on that part, because last week, right, when we were talking about it, we were talking, women should behave certain way, how they should treat a man and stuff, and what men want, and you know all that, and praising and all that. But we're forgetting the fact that we women want this type of equality. This is what it's all about. This is the equality that we want. We also want to be recognized as women. If we're talking about protection, right? Uh, Last week, Frank, you see, good is that you are here because you were also speaking about this. You see, the protection that, like, for example, you want a woman to be a woman. You want a woman to be that, I would say, the weak part of the human race. Like, that weak half. No, 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 listen. No, I'm not talking about like weak, weak, weak. Just please, you're recognized as that top of the top. You are the cherry in on top when it comes to the house. We are that the soft half of the household. The weaker part. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. That's word I'm gonna use. Fuck it. Uh,
No, I can't let it fly, Tiasha. Men do not
no,
need women to be
listen.
weak. We just need
No, I
women
didn't
to
say no,
recognize
no, 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 no.
the
No,
role that we
stop.
both play in
I
our
didn't say.
marriage.
Oh, oh, oh. I didn't say you men want it. I said that's what we are recognized as. I didn't say you want it.
That is what
Uh-uh.
most women perceive.
Even by
That's the reason
no,
why there
we
is this
women.
fight between men and women, because
Yes,
women
but
often
there is a
claims that
reason.
they know what men are thinking. That's the
Right.
problem.
Okay. Allow me to talk, please. You're
Yeah,
gonna see where I'm
yeah,
going with this.
absolutely.
So you see that weaker part, that there, the soft, gentle, emotional, caring. But then you don't treat it like that back. And then when Frank said, for example, when it comes to physical, if two men get in a fight, a woman will get away. Yeah, but you expect a woman to get away because you don't want that masculinity to come there, beat the other guy who attacked you, right? Because it would put you down, it would turn you off. Like, what the fuck is going on? How can a woman beat a guy? That's just an example that I'm giving because last week we were really focusing on this, what a woman should be and how she's treated. And I'm trying to give you a reason why we are treated like that. We are
Okay.
also, when it comes to certain, like, uh, when it comes to, let's say, the communication part and stuff, sometimes it does feel like men do know that women are that emotional, and they know which button to press, where it's gonna trigger it, what is gonna trigger a woman. And mind you, I'm talking now about plenty of marriages that I know of, that this is exactly what is happening. You know how she is. Because last week she was like that. 10 years ago, when you met her, she was like that. She's a woman. She has been an emotional wreck from the day she was born. You understand? Because it's put biologically in a crib to us. We are like that. So why do you then need to be drilling? You not being understanding of her emotions, although you know that there are emotions. Duh. But then when you fire her up, you basically demand your peace back. And this is so, like, it's wow, it's every day. And you hear women say, like, listen, all I did is I said this and that, and it was too much. Even to ask, hey, can you go for a kids today in school? I'm really not feeling well. I don't know. First day of period. You understand? When hormones are all up the wall, you men will not understand it. But there are women who are vomiting because of that. There are women who, I don't know, have such a huge headache that there is no medicine that is gonna help. And it's like it's too much to ask. Yeah, but I don't know, maybe I need to sleep because of this and that, or I need to go there, or I said to that one that I'm gonna be there at this time. And I'm like, are you joking? So this is what we are talking about. Listen, Pedro,
I'm
This
listening. I'm listening.
what I'm
No,
what
I'm
I'm
saying that we're
saying
continuing.
is the such a raw, disgusting truth that is happening to so many women. And I'm gonna tell you, I feel like that 90% of women that I personally know are going through some similar shit or even worse shit that I just described now.
Yes, which is true. Which is true. Look, you know, I told you earlier on, Tiasha, oftentimes people go into marriage, they only, when they have butterflies in their stomach and everything, they didn't think about the long term of what being in marriage is all about. Because one thing is when you don't have children, when you can let go. Tiasha, I know of people when they were living alone just as boyfriend and girlfriend, they could leave dishes in their kitchen without doing it. They can wait till tomorrow morning. It's not a problem. It's just the two of them living and under. But when you have a child, it's a different ball game. A child may need a milk and everything. You need things clean and ready at any time that you're gonna need it.
Hmm.
Some people look, it look very simple. Maybe those that are not married may not know, or that those that are not raising a young child may not know. But these are things that could even destabilize you. Being some people, even as adults, they have their time of going to bed. And you and I know that when you have toddlers, little children at home, your time of going to bed is no longer stable. You can decide when the kids may go to bed, but you and I know that something can happen. It could disturb your program for the night. A
Yeah.
lot of people, as human, as primitive as these things are, because they are primary, they are part of life, a lot of people find it difficult to accept when they themselves has actually created these circumstances by the virtue of bringing someone into the world. So when we the things that you explained to me, Tasha, has to do with communication, because all I heard is that look, the man knew the woman that he got married to in the first place. So it's as if he is surprised today that the woman is needing this help from him. That is all I heard. And at times when you say this thing, or like most men will say, that they will say that the man is not stepping up. I said earlier on, if it is possible, the definition that men give to things is way different from the definition that women give to things.
I
When
know,
you when
Pedro.
you when you tell me to step up, I am thinking in a very different category entirely of what step up is all about. Improve the economic situation of the family, do this and that. But for a woman, step up is just me, maybe going to do the bath of our son. That is what a step up for a woman might mean. But I can tell you, I don't want to pretend, because you already know how many men, how many men genuinely really see these things as a step up for them.
Well, no,
They
they,
don't
they
do it.
probably
That's the
don't
reason why they
see it.
have this confusion in the families.
No, listen, what women are known as one of the best communicators when it comes to like expressing the feelings, emotions, botherings, whatever it is, a woman is going to tell you.
So
So,
true.
what, wait, this now sounds like, there is a lack of communication. If a woman 15 times a year tells you what she needs for you to step up, and you're still not doing it. I mean, I'm sorry, what else do you want? A fucking drawing there? Because it's clearly you don't understand. The fact is that that's why, and then you are nagging. How am I nagging? I said it once, maybe, I don't know. I'll tell you today. And I'll just give you like a stupid example. Mm, what should I use? Okay, fine. You go to the gym, for example. You spend, I don't know, let's say 2 3 hours at the gym, right? The rest of the day is, let's say, 8 hours of work, sleeping time. Let's say that they are on a different schedule. I don't know. Maybe like my husband, for example, working nights, let's say. So you work half of the day away. You're away from your wife, you're away from your children. That means, let's say you are in between, I don't know, maybe in the morning you decide you're going to go to the gym for 3 hours. That takes 1.5 day away from you, let's say. And then you have, I don't know, 2 hours free, which you potentially spend either for, I don't know, jumping to the shop, seeing your friend, or maybe cooking, and then you're gonna eat and you're gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
So I use that as an example now. I put something together now, let's say. So a woman tells you on Monday, for example, listen, I'm really like this your gym. It feels like all the free time that you have, you're spending there. Why don't you compromise? And let's say, I don't know, do it hour and a half, or let's decide, I don't know, 2 days in a week, you understand? You're just gonna dedicate to us whole morning. That's on Monday. Okay, I'll do that. Tuesday comes, he comes home, let's say, I don't know, at 11 a.m. And you as a wife gonna ask him, I mean, didn't we make an agreement? Like, really, the kids, like, they're growing, they need you, I need you, you understand? I'm always alone. Like, why don't you? I told you I will do it. Okay. Wednesday comes. He comes at 11:30, let's say. And a woman will go again. And then she's nagging. Ah, woman, leave me alone. I just want my peace. But don't you have peace? Because listen, the peace you, let's say, I used an example, you work nights, right? That means that you are away from a family. You're working, I'm not saying that. But you don't have that brain stimulation of kids crying at night and all that chaos going on, let's say, right? Then the whole morning you're basically away. You come home, you spend with your family 2 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
A woman, after 1 week, 2 week, a month, 3 months of begging you to take time, she's fed up. Every time you're gonna come home, she's gonna have something to say. She's not gonna be a happy wife. So even those 2 hours you spend in there, she's either gonna be complaining, looking at you with her, side eyes, giving you a quiet time. Something is gonna happen, my friends. And then you have the balls to say a woman is nagging, for example. A woman is like keep repeating herself. That's also the case. And then uh, what have I done wrong is my worst question that I heard, right?
I
Hi.
see.
Good evening.
And
Sorry I
then
came late. I had a lot of things to put in order. Good evening to
you
everybody.
see
Good
a
evening.
woman,
You're
a
most
woman.
welcome.
Uh,
How are
and
you?
we are doing good. We are in
It's
the
been a
middle of
great
a
one.
debate, and I need your backup because this too. Hey. So you see, like, what am I doing wrong? And then it comes to, let's say, for example, but I told you we had this conversation. You said it. Oh, just leave me alone. And then it comes to that. Every time I come home, even the time I want to spend with you, that's the best one. All you do is complain. What should I even do at home? Hey, your wifey that you are so proud of, not your partner, your wifey you would die for. Nah, Pedro, these are the situations I'm talking about.
Of course.
And
It's
and
clear
you
to
said
me.
there is no communication. And I'm like, how clear do you actually want a woman to be? Do you want me to draw it for you? Do you want me to spell it for you? What do you want me to do? Because you, like, let's say, for example, Frank said it last week. You said it last week. Easy was talking about it. I said it. Communication, communication, communication. Frank even said, tell me what you want, tell me what you need. And if I respect you, I will do it for you. Fine. So that means now that we are talking about 90% of couples, married couples. That means that the woman is not respected by a man. Because if we go by this definition, that's how I see it. Listen, this shit is real. You have women crying themselves at night to sleep because that's the only time they can cry. They can be, because even if they cry in front of a man, you tell you, now look at yourself. Now you are even crying. So now we are going in this emotional stage. How many times when a woman cries, all you can hear is main door shut, a man walking out. "Ah, I can't deal with this drama." Well, that drama, my friend, is you. So you can't fucking deal with yourself alone. Okay? Do not go to a friend then and tell them, hey, listen, look at my wifey. I go slap you. Oh. I'm not lying. I don't care who you are. I don't care you being a man. I don't care you being a top of the cherry, whatever you describe yourself. Do not pretend. Because if I'm not your wife behind four walls, do not call me your wife in front of a mate there that is possibly single and you are just throwing that in his face. While you alone cannot keep a marriage going, you cannot even make a woman happy. And you know what is the worst? You can't make that woman at home happy. How many cases you go and you want to get another woman and you can't even take care of one? You
Well,
understand? Sorry, Frank, I'll give you this. It's like, that's why I said, and I'm going to say it again, this type of men, even to throw a damn garbage from the house, the only task mostly women give to men, right? Generally speaking, when you talk, hey, what does your what I mean tasks and stuff? Oh no, the garbage is on him. In my house is the same. The garbage is on you. But listen, if I leave you a bag, right, full of, I don't know, smelly nappies and stuff, and you walk past by it once, and you walk past by it twice, and three times, and four times, and the next day, you want me to tell you that that garbage needs to be taken. And when you take it alone, you're going to come home and you're going to tell me, hey, I don't know if you noticed, I took the garbage. Yeah, man, bye. Good boy. You succeeded. Unbelievable. So from now on, okay, my dear, I washed your trousers. You're welcome. I mopped the floor. You're welcome. I prepared you lunch. You're welcome. I ironed your shirt. You're welcome. I cleaned the hair in a bath for you. You're welcome. I cleaned your piss on the toilet. You're welcome. I cleaned the shoes for you. You're welcome. Is that how we're gonna leave? Ah, nah. Frank, oh yeah, go now.
so you cannot speak our English. That is very good. That is very good, Sasha.
Well,
Like becoming a Nigerian.
a lot of your people wouldn't agree. You know what they said to my husband? Chai, why did you teach her? He said it wasn't me, it was my friend. Stupid guy, stupid guy. Because now majority, when it comes to, okay, fine, the local languages and stuff, obviously I don't know. But when it comes to pidgin, I'm I'm kind of a smooth. So when the guys are talking among each other, is like they can't hide it from me, so they hate it now.
No escape route.
uh, well, I've listened to you things and I try to understand and understand it properly. So, sometimes in the way by which the manner by which matters are presented matters a lot. You know, as we said before, we understand or we understood the characters of men, what men want. When you want to present a matter, it all depends how you are presenting it. That will be how the man or whoever will respond to it. Sometimes this issue we've seen a lot of, especially this happen to women
There
a
is
lot.
a noise on the background that I don't understand. It's like a bed or something. I don't know.
Trip, trip. Is that like, how do we call it? Wait, wait, wait. Cricket, cricket.
Cricket, yeah.
Yeah.
It's top now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Please go on, Frank. It was really
okay,
distorting your audio.
okay. I don't know. Well, as I was trying to say, we know that women they are much in these problems. Uh, so many at times in marriages. Sometimes
I
they are in a
hear
more,
Frank
maybe
low.
might be my earpiece. Let me
Mm.
change it. Let me change it. Must be my
Issy, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
You look great.
Thanks.
hear me
I
now.
I worked today. I came back, fixed dinner. So I'm here.
Oh, I understand that. But it's like you are glowing. I don't know, something about you. You look
Oh,
great. No, really, really.
No, she looks great, man. Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only me that is not having a very good light, so my face is black, is dark.
beautiful.
So
You're
as I
black
was
anyway. Just smile. We're gonna see your teeth. That's okay.
so as I was trying to say, so many at times we have found out that women are in this kind of situation that even while they are in marriage, they are with a man as if they are alone. Even with children, they are
Yeah.
alone. I've had experience on this. Even me, I've had experience on it too. And I don't know the reason sometimes. After work, come home, is this one okay, that one okay? I just relax. Then next day, same thing, next day, same thing. At a point in time, I noticed a kind of distance and all that in it. And I was trying to find out what happened. Ah, I'm giving you everything that you want, anything you want. So what is going on?
Mhm.
But not every one of us that has such time to actually know what is going on, because you have to ask, and ask before a woman will actually open up to say what was the problem, what is going on, you know.
Yes.
So it took me a while, and I found out that it is just, as in, for me it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But for her, that makes a lot of sense, because when I just in the morning I go to work early morning 5 a.m. I'm off the house already. Then when I return, I will just say, is this one okay? Is that one okay? Is this one here? Is that one here? This one. Then basta. I go to bed. The next morning is like that. Money I give, everything I give. So I got to understand that I don't have that time to sit down, you know, to sit down to watch TV together, to watch maybe watch movie, to a kind of stuff. So many things that were said. You don't do this, you don't do that, you don't have this time, you don't have this time. But even sometimes I have to take you out somewhere, do like this, do like that. No. Anything you want to do, just always official. You are just doing things rightly. But yet you are not doing this, you are not doing that. At first, I was crazy. I was like, this doesn't make sense. But I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm not cursing you. I'm not hurting you. I do take care of things at home, and this is this. But later, I got to understand that this thing is actually is a problem. You know, is a problem. It's a psychological, it's emotional. You know, and these are just the nature of women. You must be able.
But I'm sorry to say, when you say nature of women, right? The thing is that sometimes you have to put yourself in shoes of another person. Listen, it, yeah, it's true we are emotional, and it's true we are more sensitive, and it's true all of that. But listen, let's use this as an example. You go to work, you have the same, let's say, the same tasks, you need to, you work for somebody or whatever. You do 8 hours as a woman, same as a man, you know and we are all tired, we're all human beings, you know as 8 hours can make you tired, whatever your job you have, it might be, mental or physical. It all depends what kind of a job you have. But trust me, sometimes it is very, very easy to be physically tired. Because when you are psychologically, mentally tired, that's like, I sometimes wish that I was physically tired, because that you rested out and that's okay.
One second, please. One second.
Bene.
Uh,
Bene.
but
Okay, finish your thoughts, Yasha,
no,
then.
yes, what I wanted to say is that we are forgetting here, it's not just about women. Imagine you as a human being working out those 8 hours, then you do school runs, you come home, you need to put washing out, you need to put new load of washing in, possibly iron. There are kids, there is homework, there is a showering, there is playtime, there is dinner time already. You understand? It's like you are in a constant machine. You are keep going, you are keep going, you are keep going, day in, day out. At night, let's say you have maybe younger kids, possibly not sleeping well. You understand? You as a woman, you wake up because you're a mother. You are that nurturing statue in a family. Then you wake up in the morning, you need to get kids ready. You understand? There is school, there is breakfast, there is this, there is that. Maybe need to prepare him breakfast. You need to prepare him maybe a meal for the job. You eat something. Sometimes you don't even eat, because in those times, I mean, 1 hour or 2 hours in the morning that you have, you can't even squeeze your own food in. You understand? You run, you do job again, you repeat the day in, day out. You have maybe next day grocery shopping. Maybe you need new shoes for the kid. It's a constant thing going. Now imagine you, forget about being a man. Think about you being a human being, day in and day out, week after week. You are doing the same thing all over again without any support. I mean, I'm sorry, you as a man, regardless of your communication skills or levels that you are capable of doing, you would be nagging as well. You would complain. You would ask for help. You would not just ask, you would demand it. You would want that equality. You understand?
Bene.
We have to be real.
The thing is that it is women that are complaining in this circumstance, and the complaint is valid. You see, we started the show with the issue of sharing the load of running a family. Here we are not even talking of financial burden. We are talking of the in-house domestic job that has to be done, or domestic work.
And
The
emotional.
thing, the thing is that a lot of women feel trapped in their marriage because of these reasons, and the I think it was last year, 2023, no, 2023, last 2022, that I heard from a woman that said that she knows that her husband loved her, but she doesn't feel loved. Just to, it was a means for her to express how she feel. And
Yeah.
it is, I wouldn't consider it politically incorrect that to say that women oftentimes are able to understand their feelings because they speak with their feelings, they demonstrate things and everything. So when they communicate their feelings. But at the same time, men, we hardly find those communications and reasons. We hardly see them the same way. Because Tiasha asserting today that women are the best communicators, which is, in my opinion, which is generally believed. If women are the best communicators, how come men don't see reasons that women are communicating? Is it a complete negation or a complete I don't care attitude? Or are women really communicating or nagging? So I need help in this area as a man. I'm just, as usual, playing the devil's advocate. I'm just imagining men that are listening to us tonight or that will come across this video. If we establish that women are good communicators, how well are women communicating this stress or things that they consider to be a problem to their spouses? Because I wonder if the communication is clear, how come men are not responding the way they are supposed to respond?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. God bless you. Mm, uh, when we talk about communication, there, there's a difference between communicating and nagging. There are also men that nag, but now we're talking about women. Okay. I will first of all, I will always go back to the origin. I will always say this. I'm sorry. I always go back there. The I met Tasha speaking when I came in, and I heard her speak about men not helping. Even with the last speech she said, I don't where I come from, which is from Africa. I've always said this: the problem is not the men. The problem is how they were brought up. Many of my brothers, including in my house, they believe they had to prepare the woman for marriage. Our parents never remember to prepare the men for marriage also. Because at the end of the day, we are marrying each other. Not that we are doing you a favor, or I'm doing you a favor. We're coming together, just as the Bible said, becoming one body. So we are doing each other. Me that is accepting you, you that is accepting me. We're doing each other a favor by creating our own home. But that was where they got it wrong. And that is where today we have our brothers, we have men that it's not that they don't love you, because if we really want to talk about love, they do love you, but they are not built to do domestic job in the house, and that is where the problem is coming from. So you see majority, some of them, not majority, some of them that they normally when they say traveling is part of education, by the time they leave their comfort zone and they get to another place, maybe now let's talk about Europe. When they get there, if they are ready to learn, they will now see that. Because remember, when I was back home, in every family, the woman or the person must have a helper, maybe your sister's brother's daughter that will come and stay with our mom when maybe if your children are small. So that person gives a helping hand so it does not burn on the husband. Okay? But now we are not in Africa. I'm here, you're here with me. So the house chores must be done. We're working. So now, how are we going to make sure that it will not take my, will not hurt me emotionally, physically, and otherwise? As a man, you suppose, I said suppose, Because remember, as I said, I'm coming from the origin. They were not taught. Most of them that are now doing this thing, they have to like, okay, I understand better, I know better, so I'm going to do better. Why there are some that they refuse categorically to learn, and they will like, no, this church is for a woman. You understand? Just as you said before, the garbage. You don't, some men, you don't tell them to go and throw away garbage. They will tell you it's forbidden, that you can't send them message, even if you say it with a calm voice. So sometimes the communication that we women, but because it now depends on the man. There are some men you talk to, because I don't want to classify everybody. There are some men you just talk to and they will understand. While there are some, you need to shout. When the nagging part comes in, that is when they start telling you, this woman, you're a nagging type, you are this or that. Because you know why? Because the man has refused to accept that he should give a helping hand in the house. That is why by the time the woman will tell him that, look, please help me out with this chores. Maybe he pretended as if he did not hear. Maybe the woman goes back and they start exchanging words. Then the woman becomes the nagging type. So this is where I see the problem is coming from. But as I will always say, why we know better. I know better than my parents. I will do better than them. The same message I'm sending out to my brothers, most especially my brothers out there, because indeed, a lot of women, they are married, but they are single in their marital homes, because the man on his own part feel, I love you, I give you everything you need, I'm there, but there is something lacking. And if you refuse as a man to acknowledge it or to even listen to her when she's talking, there are some men when you're talking to them, so you started again, you know, there's a way they will say it, even if the woman is the type that she don't just want stress, she will just keep quiet. She won't say anything. And once she keep quiet, believe me, there is no happiness, there is no joy in that home. So my own advice today is, my brothers, as you are leaving your comfort zone, you're leaving your parents, you are now in, not because you are in a foreign land, has nothing to do with it. You know better. Thank God for we are not exposed to a lot of this. I saw a video, I think I saw it day before yesterday. I saw the guy did a video. He said the mother came to America, went to the elder's brother's house, saw the elder brother washing plates, and the mother he is an Igbo guy. He said the mother picked up her phone and called him the younger brother. Both of them lives in America. Called him the younger brother and said, this the wife of your elder brother has spoiled your brother's head. This is an abomination. Look, listen, this is a mother. This is not a mother that came for visit, saying because she saw her son helping out in the house church. So she called the younger brother and started complaining that this is not the son I raised up. It is an abomination for a man to wash plates. It is an abomination for a man to sweep the house. And she now called the younger son that, come and pick me, I want to come and stay with you. So he said he told the mom, if you saw my elder brother doing such thing and you said it's an abomination, if you come to my house, my own is he said something like ex-promas, because he's having little
even worse.
Even worse, because he changed that part, because he has children, he has little children that he has to help and change their diapers when they are dirty. So if the other brother, that the children, they are grown up, you saw him and you are complaining, by the time you come to my house, I don't know what will happen. So he was saying
heart
it and was saying that
it's gonna be heart attack.
He even mentioned that, because as I said, he's an Igbo guy. He said, the red cap that they had when they were at home. When they came out, they had to go and keep their red cap inside drawer because we need to help ourselves. Because by the time you go and take a nanny, the salary you're making, you have to use everything to pay. So there will always should be a compromise. But unfortunately, with all this we're saying, there are some of our brothers that they have refused, all because the way they were brought up. So I always go back because it all starts from there. There is a parable that says before the fish dries or before you smoke the fish, you have to bend, because once the fish is smoked, but if you are bending, it will break. So it takes you as an individual to grow, see the things, the environment you are, or just know and that no, I want to be better. I want to be a better version in my marriage. I want to be a better version with my companion, with my partner, with my wife, whatsoever name you think you want to call her. So that's for now, that is my little contribution. Thank you.
Please,
You know
I want
what
to
the
ask a
problem
question.
is?
I want to
Hey,
ask a question, please.
Frank,
Go ahead.
before you speak, Frank, can you
Yeah.
please, when you are not talking, just mute yourself, because I don't know, there is some noise at the background, or you making
Uh,
it is really disturbing the audio of the fellow talkers.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
I didn't know. Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the question I want to ask is this. We often say that men should help at home, maybe doing the home chore is now becoming a man is helping. The question I want to ask, in a man's, in his own house, maybe in his own family, doing all these things, is he helping the woman actually or doing what he's supposed to have done? And if it is so, then in provision, why is taking his own responsibility by providing, protecting, and leading the family and all that? Who is helping him?
Okay, so when you
Do,
talk
do you
about,
do you understand my question?
yes, I do, and I want to ask
Because
from you.
this I'm getting confused on this
No, you don't
aspect
need
in
to.
such a way
No,
that
you don't need to get confused. You know what? You see, this is the mindset thing we're talking about. When
uh,
you talk about yes, sir. When you talk about provision, when you talk about protection, when you talk about I supply everything, it is all inclusive, sir. Whether because listen, I this is where I think our brothers we are getting it wrong. You see, there's a way God did it. I'm not the one. The man remains the head of the house. So where he's providing, he's protecting, he's doing all those things you're doing, he's still in. If he can help in the house church, I don't think there's any problem. Because now remember, we are not even talking about the financial part of it. We're just talking about a team coming together.
mhm.
Because you and your wife, you're no longer, the Bible says when a man leaves the mother and the father, and he and his wife, they become one body, one body. So you're no longer two people, you are now one body. So helping her out, you're helping yourself. You understand what I'm trying to say? So yeah, this is where the mentality is coming from, that okay, I provide for the house, I do the protection, so, and no, it shouldn't be like that. It's everything. The both of you are team. Your team. I believe that she too, she in her own little way, she will protect you. You will have her responsibility. But yes, as the Bible says, the man is the head. He is the umbrella that now covers. When you carry your umbrella covers you. There is no because no, it has to cover. So you cover everything. You should not allow some part be leaking, because if not, it will get wealth. You understand what I'm saying? So that it is Eva compresa. I want to speak Italian. It's
Mm,
to all of
okay.
them in
I
them.
I
Can I
understand
can I
you.
just add? can I just add here something with what Isi said also? But listen, the fact is, how you have chores every day, right? From cooking, cleaning, washing, mopping, blah, 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 blah. There are chores every day. How many times per day do you, as a man, actually feel you need to protect a woman? Because you said protection, providing, all of that. What? Why do you feel like you're the only one also here that you are providing? Because we live in a society where woman provides, and if a woman is a stay-at-home mom with the small children of the age two, I don't know, here in UK, for example, mine are gonna be 3 when I'm going back to work because I decided so, right? I'm a stay-at-home mom. I still get money, right? I'm still being paid, but like, why do you think that I don't provide? I might not be providing financially. And here is the problem when majority of men think, "Oh, I'm providing." Yeah, you go to work. Congratulations. I will go as well. I went before as well. But everything still fell on me. What makes you feel I'm not providing? Is the food not provided? Are the fresh clothes not provided? Why is that not recognized as me providing as well something? I might be providing either support, moral, whatever, might be material in this case. You will be providing financial, fine. And one thing more, I have a serious problem when people, when it comes to chores, use the word helping. Why is this helping? We are not roommates.
Yeah, yeah,
Why
you're
is it, why, I mean, I understand you are men and I understand you grew up certain way, especially now. I do understand even with what Isi explained, because she maybe explained a little bit better. You understand? Being you Africans, you are both from Africa. You are both born and raised in a culture where you are treated like a king from young age on. I get that. But you need to understand that when you come to, let's say, I'll use that word, our society, so to speak, this Western world, as you want to call it, you understand? I was born and raised this way. So you want me to respect the way you were brought up, and I need to completely forget about my culture. I'm talking about mixed marriages now, so that it's not
understand.
going to be a misunderstood. You understand? Or, for example, even you meeting somebody of your roots in a country, maybe born here and like, I don't know, grew up with a half mentality. You understand? Maybe with an African parents raising her a certain way, let's say, and the society bringing her to something else. Listen, we have to take in consideration we are mixing. You understand? You might be from Africa, let's say Nigeria, you were brought up this way. Somebody from Ghana or, I don't know, Togo or Benin or whatever might be raised a completely different way. You understand? You are going off by your traditions, you are going off by your mindset, your beliefs, the way, whatever. But this is not, it's not all about you. And again, we are not talking about I want to be equal. For example, like I understand, and in the way, me personally speaking, I do see you African guys as something like, you do stand by certain traditions and certain, like, when it comes to honor and stuff. And I really appreciate that. And I like that about you. But sometimes it feels like, and now I'm going, general again, that you men tend to just think about, oh, I'm a man. I need to be treated this way. You understand? I was raised like that. I am here for that. I am the top of the family. I am this. I am that. And he's like, me. But listen, you have a woman, fine. You can't do without a woman. At least as far as I know, as we cannot do without men, especially when it comes to reproductive systems and all of that. You understand? and and you need it. You need that soft part from us, right? You kind of demand it. You want to be treated, but what about a woman? Because if not, if we're, let's forget about roles, let's forget about these gender, blah blah blah. She's a human being like you. So why is it so hard to accept that there is woman that is bringing something of hers inside? And why is that not being equally respected as you want respect back for what you are? I don't get it. I don't get this part. And like, I know, Frank, you are smirking there and I can even hear you, but listen, this is the truth. You said it before. You didn't know what was wrong. You felt like, for example, what you were doing, something is going on. You understand? You listen. If this smirking now means that you don't care, then why the hell there was? I'm not talking about you. Don't take it personal. There are people, that might be taken, and I'm using you now as an example. Why did you then work towards fixing it? Because if this is really so stupid and this really doesn't have any meaning and the woman has her place, then why did you, as a man, for example, feel like that you need to step up your game? Because at the end of the day, what she thinks, what she feels, and how she's treated does matter. And no matter how much of a man you are, being without a woman behind your back, many times,
Yeah,
you are.
of course. You spoke well, Tasha. That is correct. Well, let me come in this way.
I'm gonna be
Eh,
listen. Sorry, I'm gonna let you speak. I'm just going to put my kids in their bed because they fell asleep. I'm gonna be off the camera, but on my earpiece. Okay. So just so you know, guys.
okay, that is great. So I want to come in this way. Recognition, recognition, recognition. There is no way that a woman has not been recognized. A woman has always been recognized in every way. You know, man is craving for this, craving for that. Woman has always been respected. Just that in today's society, I don't actually know what some, not all, some women are actually fighting for. I cannot understand. I don't know the kind of recognition that they are craving for, that they will not be recognized because women has always been recognized. A man knows that he is nothing without a woman. Therefore, he protects and do everything that he has to do. The status of a man, men are respected based on how they treat their wife or how their wife looks and all that. That marriage is a status. The kind of woman you have is also a status to you as a man. It
It depends
matters.
on he said it depends on how intelligent that man will see because
So
you
it
you're
is
speaking now. No, go
is a
ahead. Go ahead.
status. Having children is a status. There are things you do. It is a status to a man's life. These are
Mm.
addition. The glory of your family. That the way your family are. That is how you'll be treated and respected outside. You see, that's why you see some men do anything possible for their family. Okay, so that is how it is. So women are saying right, recognize and all that. At the end of the day, these things are not pragmatized. We cannot actually lay our hands on it. This is what we are actually asking. Like what I was saying before, I think I do not like or I don't want to hear that word or I don't want to use the word helping because
Mm.
actually it is not a right word to use that a man is helping. No, you are doing what you have to do in your family.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be a kind of help. You don't help a woman. You may be taking care of the kids. These are from you. They are yours. Washing plates or cleaning the house is your own house. You can do that. So you are not actually helping the woman. So you are not helping anybody because most people have found this thing, or some may has found the word offensive, helping. Somebody asks me, they say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Who is helping me? But I have to let the person know that actually you are not helping anybody.
No.
This is your duty. This is what you decide to do because at a point in time, you desire to have a farm. Now you have it, then you have to do what you have to do. So you are not helping anybody.
Exactly,
So
Charlie.
nobody is helping anybody. When the woman says he's tired and all that, you are not doing anything for anybody. It's right, you can be tired because everybody got tired. We are limited. We are not machines to be working at 24/7. So if a woman's also complain as well, he's tired, he's doing everything, he's doing that, doing this, doing that alone, doing that alone. No, you are just doing what you have to do to make your family forward. The problem I see among us is this, that whatever that is going on that is not too good for this one, or maybe that you feel in a certain way, you blame your husband or your wife for it. That is not doing this, is not doing that. Nobody own anybody anything. Everybody has to do his or her bit in order
Mm.
for everything to go forward and move well. So I think we should try, or human beings should try, or men and women should try to remove that word of help, or to remove the word of, because now sometimes, especially among men, we think we are doing women favor when we marry them.
Ah, no.
It, it,
Oh,
it,
hell no. Hell
it's
no. You're
so
not
it's
doing
so
me a
many
favor.
in so many ways. In so many ways, we feel like that. But actually, nobody is doing anybody's favor. No, nobody is doing anybody favor. You are just doing what you have to do because we are just created to do, or we came and we saw this is how it is. And when it is time, then we just as well go ahead and do it. But in this very area, I think some of our men should try to understand and calm down a little bit, to be able to relate, because some of us relate with our women as if we are in the military force. And this affects the emotion of the women. Okay,
Yeah.
so like what I was saying before I found out why my wife was the way she was, and this thing took weeks, but just that I knew that she wasn't like this before. She's behaving a certain way, so I have to try to understand why. But for me, these were not important. If you want me to classify all these things, they are not important to me as a person. They are not important to me.
To her.
But these are not it's later that I found out that it's also important to me. It's also
Okay.
good for my health. For my mental health and everything is also good. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I understand that, I say, oh, thank you, because it's you that even helped me. I didn't know that these things were important even to me, because to relax is a little bit of problem. If I'm not here, I'm doing that. If I'm not doing that, I'm doing always busy.
Mm.
Okay, so we should always try to understand. So in order to be able to, because some of our women can easily go for, as in they can easily have depression, emotional breakdown and all that. And sometimes this can make them to change and become wicked, okay, disrespectful, and some things that we do not want as men. So this can actually lead to it. So we have to reduce our busyness and seriousness, because many of us, we are very serious. We want everything serious. So sometimes we should break down the seriousness, and just try to come to the level of the woman, and the woman should also come to the level of the man to be able to speak. We should have a common ground to be able to speak to each other. So with this, we can move forward and things can go better. So thank you.
Thank you so very much, Frank. Thank you, EC, and thank you to every one of you that have commented, discussed so highly on this. I'm really grateful. And the thing is that it's a very tough question and it's a very tough topic, because even though women may not understand or they may feel that their men do not care, I stand to be challenged that men, on the other hand, want to do everything that they can for their wife, to take away the burden away from their shoulders the best possible way that they can. I still retain my opinion or what I asserted earlier on that look, I see a problem with lack of being able to communicate the vision of the family or the reason why they choose to stay together, to build together. Because why it is important for the woman that the man is able to help with the chores at home, it is also important that the man, even if he, as at that particular time, is not doing that thing the way the woman expected it to be, but is able to provide other means to be able to take that burden away from the woman. I believe that majority of women will be glad at the same time. What do I mean with this? I don't see this problem specifically as a problem that has to do with the women. I see economic aspect to it because in our discussion, we made mention of if we had to take nanny
No,
with the
Pedro,
salary
please,
that we
excuse me. Sorry. There was something, sorry, please. There was something that was said before. Now
okay.
I saw where I wrote it. So there was something that you said before, and Tasha also said that women are better communicator.
I did not agree
So
with it actually. I
okay,
asked Frank if they are better
yes,
communicators, how come they are not
I
able
want
to
to
communicate these things clearly
I
for the
want to
men
say
to be able
that
to understand it?
I want to say this that women are never a better communicator. Women don't communicate properly. Now,
Because even
women's
if he,
communication,
even if he make a distinction about communication and nagging in her
yeah,
intervention, because she
of
said that there is
course,
a huge difference between communication and
are
nagging.
nagging, yes, but
Women
women
may
are
choose,
not
okay,
actually best communicator or good communicator. No,
or
they are not.
maybe they are not able to communicate to their husband clearly
Not
because
whether with the husband among themselves or anything like that, children and all that. Let me tell you, one thing you have to understand is this: a woman
Frank,
communicates
I am
or
no,
express
I'm not in support.
herself depending on her mood.
No,
Do not
no,
the situation,
Frank,
is the
no.
mood that determines, is the mood that
Mr. Frank,
she
no.
is. If a woman is in a period, those one that has pain and all that, in that time when nobody know, she behave in a certain way. You have to
Okay.
understand, and she express herself in a certain way. Okay, you understand. If she heard a matter,
no, Tiasha,
or
you can't say no. Tiasha, you make reference to it earlier on in your
if
intervention.
she heard
We
if
are
she
just
heard
picking
a
up from where you, out of your intervention, we are picking up some point.
okay, if she heard a word or something is said, maybe negative or positive, the way that she's going to present that matter is going to be on her mood. If she's happy, there's a way she will talk to you happily. But if that thing is of the negative part, mama mia, you are going to hear how she will express herself. What about
Okay.
if the maybe children are frustrating her? Maybe there is a certain kid that just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. She's so frustrated, you know. This thing, I'm saying it out of experience. Though she's so frustrated. Maybe later the child sleeps and all that. That will, as in, I don't know how long it's going to take for her mood to change or anything like that. There was a certain day I was just coming home. When I got home, man, I didn't know what happened. I wasn't home. You know, I don't know. So now, after some few hours, not few, after long hour stress and all that, I was just coming home. Then, as soon as I opened the door, Hey, Mamma Mia, blood of Jesus. I said, God, thank you. You know, I was just like, okay, what is my face now? I didn't know what I've done wrong. It took a whole long time after
Okay, so
after hours upon hours. So therefore, at a point in time, there was a day I was home. I experienced same frustration. Okay, when I experienced the same frustration, I know that. But when I want to express myself, I know that I didn't express it according. I wasn't in any mood. I have to express something based on what has happened, what should have been, what could have, what couldn't. That was the expression. Because why I'm able to subdue my emotion. Now I'm talking of the situation. Therefore, there is no way on earth or in any way, even a pastor. I've seen a lady pastor, while she was on the altar preaching, she was preaching according to what she heard, not according to what should have been said. Okay, so women can never be the best communicator. They communicate according to the mood that they are, not even according to the situation. In so many ways, not all the time.
I am
Eh,
trying to understand this communicating thing that you guys are still talking about, but I'm just trying to understand because what I have been hearing from you has been her mood. She communicates with her mood, and I think it's not just the woman. I think each and every one of us, we are all the same. When you stress, you can be nervous when you're stressed up, whether you're a man or you're a woman. So
Frank, mute the mic.
I'm still trying to understand this communication thing because I'm trying to like hold on to where is I said something before. I said there's a difference between communication and nagging. Okay. There are men that you can communicate with. Even when you're angry, the man will sit and listen. Even when you're in that bad mood, the man will sit because something got you angry. You're saying it, that person will listen. Why there are some people now we're talking about men. When you are even starting the conversation, they're like, I'm not cut up for this today. They block you even before you start talking. If it's a woman that don't like trouble, she hold on, she just put everything inside and she won't say anything again. And she use that mood. Definitely, she'll use it on you because you did allow her to express that pain, that thing that she wants to say, all because Almighty you don't want to listen.
Yes.
See, yeah. So
Okay.
then, because when we're talking about communication, you if you are using mood and mood, the woman when she's under her cycle, when she is on no, the woman can be under her cycle, she can go. But what about the men? I've seen men, they go out, they come back from work, they have experience of work, and they're like, what happened? No, I don't want to talk about that. Okay. You just give him time. By the time in school, you go, what happened? Maybe then the communication can come in. So each and every one of us, being a man or being a woman, we definitely react when it comes to our mood. We react in our own way because there are people that have hot temper, there are people that have cool temper. So it depends. So that is where I'm trying to understand when we're talking about this communication thing. Because if you're telling me
Okay.
a woman communicate not better because she's in this mood, I don't think I buy it. I'm sorry.
Okay. The thing
I
is that
agree.
when it comes to communication, there is a difference between one being able to communicate and one being a talker, in which I
Exactly.
believe you made reference to earlier on when you made the decision between communication and nagging. The thing is that if women are better communicators, there are things in life we can't argue about it. You see the result. in the action. If women are better communicator and they can communicate explicitly their need and feelings in a way that it will be comprehensible to the person that they have in their life and everything, this problem that we have today, we wouldn't have it, because I don't believe that there is anybody out there, any man, no matter how quote unquote stupid he is, the man would definitely, all things being equal, we are being positive here, the man will have the intention not to help or assist the woman in her life. I doubt it, but I am not going to say that it is not possible because I don't know everybody, but I highly doubt it. And I sense a problem of communication there. That was the reason why I made reference to it, because if the thing is clear enough, a lot of men really will gladly do what even these things that we are talking about if they are going to do it. And that's the
Do you
reason
know
why,
that there are
secondly,
that do you know that
okay.
there are men that you will talk to as a woman, you will talk to this man and you will talk, listen, you will be talking to, now we're talking about communication. The woman will say, look, I don't like this cup. Why is it that you're always using this cup? Why is it I'm just making for it? I'm just making an illustration. This is not
Yes.
right. I don't like it. You know I don't like it. And he will tell you he's sorry. Then you as a woman, you're like, okay, he has gotten it. Tomorrow, he will do same. You still say it. He will still say, I'm sorry. Continuously, he will do. So they are men. So that's why I said it depends on who the person is. Because everybody, see, even now, let's talk about, there are some people when you invite them in a conference, by the time they start speaking, whether a man or a woman, you just see people will just be getting what that person is saying. It's a gift. You understand? Why there are some people, they can just speak from now till tomorrow, and you're like, what is she saying? Not getting her. Not because she's not saying anything, because she was not able to express or say that thing that you need to hear. So I don't
That
think
is
it's a problem
that
of
is
a
you see that
woman.
is what tends you see that is what tends to represent a lot of women. If women are good in talking and the men in their life seems not to get them, apart from the extreme case that you made, because the example you just made right now has to do with habits. Some men that have the habit of, maybe you tell them one thing over and over again, they forget, they don't remember, they don't. That could be an exception. An exception, as we all know, do not make the rules. There are some rich people in Africa, does not mean we have the best standard of life in Africa. So we can't use
Yeah, but
exception
Pedro,
to make
Pedro,
Tasha, just hold on. We can't use exception to make an argument like this. If
Okay.
women are the best communicator, do you know, guys, that when it even comes to teaching children, I'm sorry to tell you guys, when it comes to earlier child education, if it is possible, they would prefer to use men, because men are more calm and gentle in explaining. Male teachers are more calm and gentle in explaining things to children in school. There are research and everything backing all of these things up. Unfortunately, just as it is in real life, most men don't even like to go and teach in that particular session or stage of schools. That's the reason why today, in most society, they do everything that they can to even attract male teachers in early child education, but most men are not attracted to that session. What am I trying to say here is that if we make a blanket statement saying that women are better communicators, the result is not there to prove it. So
That's right.
it may get it to my
That is
feeling. I
right.
understand,
That's right.
but the result is not
Uh-huh.
there.
No
That's
result.
the
No
unfortunate
result at
truth.
all.
There is no result to prove it.
Yeah.
okay. All right. Can I please come in?
Yeah.
Before I gave you an example, just like maybe I made it up. It's half true, half not. I know cases, I told you. I don't know. There okay, fine. If you men are known to either be like straight to the point, right? Say it in one sentence. The demands may be yes and no, or not communicate at all. You're like, oh, forget about it, brush it off and stuff like that. It's too often happening, and I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I know women. I really speak to them. I'm very big on that, and a very close friend too who is in this shit, and I can really speak like it's almost my personal experience. When you are there and you are repeating yourself every bloody day, you're gonna come to a point where this is gonna turn into what you call nagging. So there is no more communication, and there is a mood talk. Then what Frank mentioned, because you can expect that, but that really means that the woman still cares. The problem is, like I said before, when a woman will stop talking, when she will stop nagging, when she will stop communicating, stop trying, stop putting effort in, that's when it's a problem. You understand? Now, you said, like, she's not communicating. Listen, this is where I have a little bit of issue. And I know you as men may be like now trying to find that mistake in what woman does wrong that the man doesn't understand. But the fact remains the same. If I'm repeating to you every single day, over and over, the same things that we are going through for months and months or years even, and I'm telling you that I have a problem with this, or I need help, or I want more time with you, or something, whatever I'm discussing with you, you understand? And you don't do anything about it. Now, is it me not communicating to you clearly, or you not giving a damn, or maybe not even listening? Because many of times, when Frank mentioned last week, and now it's been mentioned today, in all this discussion, was that men want peace. They don't want nagging. They want somebody who is gonna be, there to like be just there and shut up. We've been clear on that, right? And it's a known fact. Fine. But then if you really want that, and if you want that
It's no
peace and
big deal.
quiet,
Shut up.
then why don't you do something? You understand? Because at the end of the day, like Frank said, her behavior, her moody behavior is gonna affect you on the long run. Because when a wife is not happy, when a woman is not happy, I'm gonna show you. And not just you. You take me out, I'm gonna show others as well. I'm not happy. And there is no energy inside me to pretend anymore. There are women that I'm speaking to, you understand? She needed to adjust her working hours, trying to find a job because he's not gonna back down. He's not gonna leave anything that he wants to be. He wants her to be something, but doesn't give her the opportunity. You understand? Well, everything else still falls on her. Children, cooking, cleaning, every single thing. Like I said, even to take a garbage, I need to give you fucking a word because you've done it. And I know this sounds like a bit like, okay, fine, what else? But we are talking about marriage. We are talking about, like, you made a kid. It took two to make a kid. You understand? It takes two to build a house. It takes two to build a home. It takes two to live together. It takes two to call it a marriage. You understand? So why does it everything need to be then me, a woman? I will do it. I need to do it. I need to fucking kill myself. You understand? And then not now. You want me to be happy. You don't do anything. You don't help me. You don't come forward. You don't even communicate with me. You brush me off. You don't care. You don't respect me. But yet alone, you're gonna go outside and you're gonna tell, oh, that's my wifey. You understand? And you said Pedro before, you have a woman who told you, I know a man loves me, but I don't feel loved. This is the type of a thing that she's talking about.
Absolutely.
Because I know if my husband, for example, comes home every night, okay, let's say like that, you understand? And he's, I don't know, does some things, I don't know, whatever. Like, you can feel like that he loves you, else he would probably leave, right? But that loving, that affection, and it's gone. And I, as a woman, then, for example, and I hear it, and it's very real, you understand? They feel like they don't want to be intimate with their partners anymore because she's like, why would I need to meet you and meet your needs and satisfy you in intimate way and be that wife if you are not a father, if you are not my partner or a husband, however you want to call it, if you are not there for me, and they feel that resentment and they go away and they go in a closed bubble. Now, mind you, we're talking about finances, and I'm going to mention this now. Yes, do you know how many women that I am now speaking for here is in a place where they left everything for that man? Their families, their roots, their friends, to make their men happy, to go there where he would feel accepted, where he would feel, I don't know, something. Do you know how many? They're away. They have no help when it comes to childcare because there is no family members. The financial situation is the way it is because if you have small kids, let's say you can't really work, the nursery is expensive, you stay at home, you get a little bit of money from the, let's say, the government and stuff. The women feel trapped. This woman is unhappy, loves her man to death. That's why she's there. She's trying for kids. That's why she's still nagging. That's why she's still fighting. You understand? He brushes it off. He goes, he leaves with the friends, going to the gym or wherever he'll go. He will leave her. Everything is on her. I have a case. She was pregnant. You understand? A woman like massive. He tapped her back in front of her family, family friends, I will say, I will call them like that, and said, yeah, she can do it, she's strong.
No,
Really?
Tiasha, the thing.
No.
Okay.
Listen, what I'm saying is, it's no, I know emotional. We are talking about everything. Let's not brush it off now. And no, we are not talking
No,
about that. And
no,
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 this
no.
is what single married women mean. This is the pure definition of what it means when you are married, but you are single. And mind you, it is easier to be single and be on your own because when you are in a marriage and you are single, it hurts.
That's true. But the thing is that you can't blame this on men. I see most of this problem as something that
But you,
is constructed. Just hold on. It's easy to blame it on men, but negating our responsibility, our men, women, responsibility in it as well. Because every
mm,
monster you have in your life, you could create, you feed the monster, you did everything that you could. Look, the thing is that if you are with someone, you as a woman have to understand. I know we say have to because not everybody are able to have the ability to realize that particular thing at a particular point in their life. You married lifestyle, not the height. I left everybody and everything with to be with the man. These are secondary. If you do not know the lifestyle of the person that you are dealing with, these problems are bound to arise in that particular marriage or relationship. Tiasha, you cannot tell me today that a
no,
woman.
Pedro, no, Pedro, listen, let me tell you something. The
Tell me, I'm
case you
listening.
are
That's
leaving,
the reason why we're
the
here.
case, the case, for example, you are leaving,
Mm.
you understand, the way I'll say it, the way your marriage is going and the way your marriage has started and the fact that you are married in, let's say, her country, you do not know how it is. And I'll speak for myself because I've done that. And I've done that twice. You do not know. And it's not something that you hold against your partner. It is something that it needs to be taken in consideration. I have left my family, moved where my husband was before to marry him because I believe that, no, wait, oh,
These are normal
stop.
circumstances
No,
of life.
no, you
I
have to
know
listen
people that
because
move
no,
from
you are
Milan to
refusing.
Parma where I live
No,
in.
Pedro,
No,
you no, listen to me what I'm gonna say. It is not the same. If I was living in my capital, in another city, in my country, it would be completely different than me going somewhere. But what I'm trying to tell you is now
Tasha, I work with
that
refugees. I see
I know
circumstances
you work
every
with
day.
refugees,
It has to
but that
with
doesn't mean you
what
lived it.
do
It
it.
doesn't mean you lived it. And you cannot, no matter how many stories you hear, that's why I understand these women. Because I would feel bloody same.
Look,
And
I
that's
am not
like,
I am not underestimating the problem that the women are into. I am saying that when an issue arises, you have to be able to see. There is a it has to get to a point where two will sit down at the table and devise a means to go about it. It is not about nagging, it is not about complaining or saying that I've said this over and over and over again. There has to be a time whereby we have to sit down and really talk as an adult about this
yes,
particular
but
thing.
Pedro, you are talking. You that's what I'm trying to also explain to you. You are talking from your perspective. What has to be? I am talking about the fact what is happening, and you grabbed it as a man naturally. You understand and said, "Why?
Because when you talk
What
to me,
if
I'm
it's
talking of
not
a
men?"
solution. I don't
I
just want to
know
talk without
there.
thinking of a solution.
I no, I understand, but it's not. You asked me before why this is not important. This is secondary. But for somebody who left everything and has nothing here because doesn't have an ability to have, because doesn't have any me time, because the husband took the wife somewhere for him to be happy but now made her unhappy and she's there stuck. This is not secondary anymore. This is the
Perfect.
first thing that is gonna come to her mind. That's why I said it. But
That,
I'm not saying it's not always a man's fault, but we are talking now today about single married women that are in this
Tiasha,
because
did you just listen to
obviously they're
yourself? You said the lady
well.
agreed with the man. They moved from one place to the other. They were able to agree before that. They couldn't agree today. So I'm trying to understand where is the disconnect here. Because
Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you
imagine
something. When
going to
when
speak
I
with a therapy. Imagine going to talk to a therapist, bringing your problem
no,
and
you're
everything.
refusing to understand what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I'm not
Please.
refusing anything. I
Yes,
am
you are.
telling
You
you
know,
that
you are
no
taking it from
matter
the
the
surface right
circumstances, they
now,
could sit
Pedro.
down the table and talk. No
Yes,
matter the
that could be.
circumstances, they could sit down.
That
No,
could be,
not
but it is not.
the
It
willingness
is
is not there.
not.
That is the problem we have here. The
Right.
willingness
But
is not there.
this is not what my point was. My point was that
Tasha, we are not
when
talking of
you are
somebody that is
taking
a handicap. This is not a mental problem. This is not a disease. This is not a
how is it
handicap.
not? Listen, nobody said it's handicap. Nobody said
Are you
anything.
telling me that
But
the
I
two
said
cannot sit
before,
down and talk?
yeah, well, obviously not if this is happening, Pedro. But this is what we've been saying now.
Because we are talking as if there is no solution to this thing. Of
Yeah,
course,
but
there is a practical
listen, maybe
solution.
it's not. It
One
is
of
a debate.
Tasha, just one moment.
We
You said this lady in question. We are saying lady as if we know a particular person that is in the boat. For those that are listening, for
no,
argument's sake, we are saying
I am really talking from from a perspective of my very close friend.
Tiasha, imagine we are in that kind of situation. We are adults. We don't have to. Let's talk the way real people in real life would do something. Imagine this is a problem that we have. You need your break as a stay-at-home mom and everything because you are doing a lot of the chores and everything.
Yeah.
What if my solution to you is that, look, you don't have to stay at home anymore. You can go and work and do everything like every other person. Bring the money because I am thinking here that the man is not capable enough to shoulder the economic responsibility of the family. Bring the money that you work. I bring mine. Then we pay a nanny so that you can have your free time and do whatever you want. Is that a solution? Will it be okay for you?
Well, I don't know for me. I mean, I'm okay with where I am, but I don't know.
No,
I can't
no,
speak
no.
for other
We are
people.
speaking hypothetically
Okay.
here.
Can
Is
I
that is
can
that
I
is that
Listen,
solution okay
but
for you?
Can I
It
come
might
in
be for
here?
me, but it might not be for my husband, for example. Because it's
So
not
you're
always
saying
a
then
solution.
the husband doesn't have to complain. You lose the
But
rights to
that's
complain
the
when you don't even
fucking
bring that even accept a
problem.
solution.
But
Can
that's
I
the fucking problem.
can I say
That's what
something?
I've been sorry, Issy. That's what I've been trying to tell you, and you are keep going on that, and I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to explain to you. I am
Can I
like honestly, the informations that I have provided like are enough to tell you that why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. And yes,
okay?
some men are fucking stupid.
Can I say
Point
something,
blank.
please?
Say something, please,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sissy.
Thank you. We should calm down and speak so that the people that are listening will get. Remember, this is a topic. We are not having this topic as an individual thing. It's just in the society where we talk to people,
Yes.
both men and women. We hear stories, we see, maybe we have friends, maybe we have neighbors, and we see all those things. So when we are communicating, we should please try and communicate. But the message I want us to pass today is not just for us to start seeing both uh, the bad side of a man or the bad side of a woman or the good side of a man or the good side of a woman. Is the message I want us to pass out there is the way we can live in peace, the way marriages can still stand, because today, unfortunately, marriages are no longer standing. A lot of divorce, even not some marriages does not even last 2 years because misunderstanding. They've refused to compromise. They've refused to understand each other. Now I am not talking about one gender. I'm talking about the two genders. So whatsoever we're doing right now here is a way of how can we, with our little, in our own little way, how can we solve this problem? What can we do? Does it mean that there are some family, there are some husband and wife that they need somebody like a coach, a relationship coach? Because when we were growing up, we didn't know maybe they were doctors for anything, people that can help you do something. We just believe that if you have a problem in your marriage, it's either you tell your mom, you tell your dad, or you tell your village people. That I'm sorry, I'm using those words. So the question is, these people that you're telling, the only remedy they give you is how they went with their own. If a violent man, you go and meet a violent man to tell him my husband is beating me, how else do you want him to advise you? Of course, in his own way, he will advise you. So today, the world of today that we are living, we have coaches that whatsoever problem that you think you're going through that you cannot solve, you don't know how to come out of it. There are people that can help you out. You need to speak. Like now, the men have just said something, and I think to me, remember, I am speaking as EC. They said women are not best communicators. We don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to tell them this is what I don't like. Why, as a woman or as an individual, I believe I know how to communicate. Now, when we are talking, we should not take anything personal. We should realize that whatsoever we are doing today, whatsoever we are saying here, is a message being sent out. It is a solution. We are all looking for solution. How can we start living a beautiful life as a man, as a woman, as companions, as partners, building our home? Because remember, even our children, they look up to us. They look up to mommy and daddy. How are they doing their things? Because when the children see that the mom and the dad, they are not doing the things that couples need to do, they too will grow up with that mindset. So I always use this word and I will continue to use it. We know better. We should do better. And if there is any form of, okay, I don't know what else to do, Now we are now going to tell people, our listener, our audience that will listen to this. You don't need to do it alone. There are people. There are people that they studied, they can help you out, both the man and the woman. When Pedro talked about the financial aspect of it, yes, I can be a businesswoman and my husband is also a businessman. We have conference, we have meetings. So the house, what about the house? The house need to move on. The children needs to be taken care of. If I'm having meeting in the next 2 hours, definitely you will not expect me to start cooking. Then a man and a woman should come to a compromise. That is where they will sit down. Okay, what are we going to do? You're working, I'm working. What are we going to do to solve this problem? Because no, that means one of us have to drop out of your dreams, your vision, whatsoever thing. So what for you guys not to drop out of your vision, for you guys not to drop out from your dreams, that thing that you love so much, then you come together as a couple, as partners. What are we going to do? Okay, we are going to look for somebody that will be doing the house job. We are going to pay. Who is going to pay? We don't know. But you guys need to speak out, talk, come to a compromise. That way, I believe that they will be able to live in happiness. I think that is also a solution when there is when the both parties they are, or even when the woman said, okay, I'm tired, I cannot do the house job. Okay, you go and work, you look for somebody, and at the end of the month you pay off the person. Maybe it will make you free to maybe live the kind of life you want to live, be able to stay with your husband, because some women they use that as an excuse. I'm tired, I can't stay with you, I can't go out with you, I can't play my marital deals and all that. You see, there is always, I think, in life, there is always a solution to whatsoever problem that would be. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, EC. I genuinely agree with it, with this idea. In fact, that's the reason, we are doing this argument. We listen to women by default. We did not even query whether the feelings or the problem is valid or not valid. We took it with a blind faith without even arguing, because in this discussion, we are not even saying, what did the men say? How did the men even see it? Because we genuinely know that, look, or as a society, there are some things that come from a woman. You don't argue over it. It would be stupid of me if a woman is telling me that she's trapped in her marriage for these very reasons, for me not to not start belittling her, to not start discrediting her or whatsoever. I wouldn't do that. That would be the last thing to do as a person. However, when it comes to issues like this, just like you rightly said, I agree completely. There could only be two solutions to this. At least the first thing is coming down to the table. Let us talk about it. If the woman genuinely has brought her issue to her husband, because mind you, this woman or the person in this situation, if it was a place of work, will I come to my house now tomorrow and tell my wife and my kids that because I have a misunderstanding with my colleague, we couldn't settle it, I had to give him my key, my badge, and said I'm not working anymore? That will even sound stupid to anybody that will listen to that. If there is a genuine problem, you sit down, you talk about it. It's only when, for goodness sake, every means have been explored, we could not find solution. Look at me, my dear brothers. I'm a Christian, but I believe in some circumstances, instead of the person dying in their marriage, they should divorce. They should separate and go their separate way. I don't agree today with what I have seen, especially with that pastor woman or that singer that died last year or so ever. Whether it is true or not, when the stories was around her saying that she suffered domestic violence from her husband and everything, up to today, we don't know if it is true or not, at least for me. But the thing is that I don't want to see somebody, either man or woman, killing herself in the circumstances called marriage because they couldn't just manage to live happily in it. So if really two consenting adults that were able to form a marriage, that were able to bring a child to this world, if genuinely they are telling me that they cannot just sit down for goodness sake with somebody that they trust to iron these things out if they cannot do it on their own. And meanwhile, it has become a problem to a woman that has left everything according to how Tiasha explained the example. If they cannot sit down, even I, as a woman, I will believe that is no longer a marriage for me. A place whereby something that is so important to me, we can't sit down to talk about it, to find a solution so that I will be happy as a person and enjoy my marriage as well, then I see that as a problem. Then my question, therefore, is this woman willing? Because I brought the economic aspect in it for a purpose. Because I have been seen a situation whereby, despite the fact that the woman complained, but did not accept to go back to the labor market to work and contribute for a nanny to be paid, and the man does not have the salary to show that responsibility like that, and the man still have to go and work. So at times, it depends on the person we have in this situation. We can't brush it up. I know we are supposed to have a discussion that is 360-degree, where we have every point of view and everything, but at times, someone have to put their step down and resolve an issue. Otherwise, we can't go further. Not only as a society,
I
even
agree.
as an individual. Imagine who is do you guys think in a household like this, the children homework will be done if the woman is stressed and everything and the man doesn't do anything? Who is doing the children homework from school?
A woman.
Who is planning the holiday, if any there is holiday? How do
There
you
is
do
no
leisure
holiday.
time?
There is no leisure time.
Then these are two individuals that are disorganized. I see
I
lack of
I
planning, lack of being able to simple management of home, something little home economics that were taught us in Nigeria will simply fix.
you
Mm-hmm.
see you see I so wholeheartedly agree with you. I I can't tell you how much, and I really wish that every case was the same, and I wish that every case had a solution of, like, not, no, it is a solution, but that the other side of the marriage, in my case that I described, a man, or no, I would say men, because I combined more stories in, would accept that something is wrong as number one. Let me try to explain this a little bit better, and I'm gonna give you, just so we know what I'm also talking about, few examples of the stories that are very close to me at the moment, surrounding me, with people that I know and with people that I actually care for. So, why I said before, you know, it's not secondary when you leave your family. I've done it as well. And sometimes when I feel like, exhausted of everything, it's also the first thing on my mind. Was this really needed? But, I'm in a completely different situation. Now, I want to speak, I want to be their voice now and explain what is really happening. And I'm going to highlight it as they are in an interracial marriage, meaning that a husband is one of yours. A husband brought a woman, that's one case, in a country, I'm going to speak UK. When this woman arrived, her English level was not good. She needed to take lessons, and if you ask me, she's doing 100% better than some of the foreigners here. But her confidence level of knowing the language is so low, and it's not just because of her, it's also because of him. Because he is not that supportive and understanding that this is her second language that she learned. Mind you, also when she was fairly a deep adult at that point, and that she's trying and doing her best. However, lack of the confidence that was actually planted into her led a man to lead everything from the appointments, everything. A woman lost all the confidence, is doing everything that she needs to do as a wife, mind you, everything on her own, while he is working, spends all his free time either working, taking extra jobs, or gymming, or just being somewhere. He won't mind to take a holiday to go and spend it in another town partying or in this town partying with his friends, but he will never take an off day to spend it with the family. This woman is here alone, without a family, without friends apart from me and maybe few that she knows, that she can rely on. She has no childcare. Mind you, they are now in school. But now that they are both in school and are able to be there, she needed to find work. She wanted to work. She wanted to provide because she felt that financially she is dependent. Now, mind you, this poor woman needed to, because he is taking classes and stuff, find now the job that will suit around his time, which means that she cannot work from this time because she needs to take kids to school. And then, mind you, she needs to finish her job as well. So she's going to go pick the kids from school, which made her find a job, part-time job for only, I think, 3 or 4 hours. You understand? And money, you know how it is. 3, 4 hours is almost nothing. She works around him. She will do everything to suit him. She'll even understand he's tired from the job. I understand he's tired. She will apologize everything. I could go on. This man thinks that nothing is wrong. This man, if she will open her mouth and tell him, listen, this and this and this, he's gonna either brush her off, walk out of the door, or shut her off in any either way. This poor woman carries a life of herself, her kids, her husband, everything on her shoulders. She will go, you know how many times she'll go, no, I need to rush now because I didn't prepare him food for his job. She'll even stop hanging out with me because she has a responsibility to do. And this is on and on and on. And yes, I do agree. Maybe sitting down and putting it on the table and saying it the way it is would help. But Pedro, when you try, at the end you become quiet. Yes, separation. Yeah. But how? This woman has no finances. She has nothing saved because she had no ability. She has nobody to run to. The kids are now in school. She can't even go to her own country because she depends on buying a ticket, let's say, if she wants to move. And it's not that easy. When you have kids to move on to another country where she would feel comfortable, you understand, it's not that easy anymore. Because
Yeah.
leaving the kid, yeah. So and I'm speaking, that's just one example for it, you see. And it hurts me. It hurts me as a woman. It hurts me as a friend. It hurts me as a fellow human being to see that this is actually happening. I'm the man of the house. Well, yeah, sometimes I'm sorry to say it, but fuck that.
Now, but in such situation, it is first and foremost. I try to understand how you are explaining it, and I goes, in such situation. Now, first, apart from maybe the man is not having enough time to spend with them, if this is one of the things that she's complaining of, I know that is very important in the family, very much important. It's not something to ignore. Okay, it's not something to ignore. To have time together, to spend time together is very much important. Okay, but if maybe this is the situation of the family or of the lady involved in this matter. But this is not something that, something that is so hard or anything like that. It just first time and a way to present the matter. Okay. So there has to be a way that she can present the matter to the man. Okay. So if the man thinks that maybe this thing is not important to something, maybe it's not important, why would she be complaining something like this? Then there is another way too that the woman can be able to express this thing. But if the man is not maltreating the woman, and is not deny her in any provision for anything like that, so it is not, something that she would not think that I've left my family and all that and all that and all that, you know, or maybe she getting a job that will help her, maybe because she's not having money, that's why she's unable to do this, she's unable to do that. No, the what is here is a matter of understanding. It's just for both of them to understand each other. And two, the lady has to understand the man. Does this man has a lot of time? I be from one work to another and doing this, doing that, doing different kind of stuff. So it's a matter of understanding. It's not something that, because sometimes the way you interpret a matter can make it great or small. But for me, with what I'm understanding here, if I'm to provide solution here, is this. First and foremost, this lady should be able and devise a method to be able to explain to this man why you should have some few time with me for the family. Why it's much important. Okay, and there is always a way to make the man listen. A man always listen at a point in time, not all the time, or if he doesn't want to. So I think there should be a way to, um, as in to present the matter, to
You
present the
know what?
matter.
I
Yeah.
actually, when I'm listening, oh, Obina, I want you to speak as well because I know you're a wise man. So please come in as soon as you can. But I want,
Professor
I
is
want to, I
listening.
want to be, I want to be clear here that I completely agree, and that I want to point this out, and I think that I said it a few times before, not today, but in general, that if you guys, like, I mean, if you could reflect the visions and the understanding that you are now speaking, and I hope those are not just words, that you actually mean it, what you say it. I wish that
Mhm.
every man would actually see it from this perspective. But like I said, just because we know ourselves and how we see it and coming from our mindset doesn't mean that everybody is. So I just want to put this out there. We need to take it in consideration. And I know that, like, even for me, the type of a person I am, for example, and, strong headed and everything, there are certain things that it's very hard for me to see. But then when you try to put yourself in that situation, because listen, Frank, now the conversation between me and you as we continue, if you put yourself in a position like that, forget about you being a man, okay? Just for a second, just think about as a human being that somebody is taking that joy out of you. And I agree with Pascal, what he wrote. You cannot depend, you know, on somebody else. Exactly. Thank you for attaching it again. You see, you should define your own happiness. And I completely agree, Pascal. Thank you for that. But sometimes I feel like um, I feel like sometimes the situation brings women that they are naturally maybe also submissive to the extent that everything flies with them. But then when they see when it's flying, 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 it starts also piling. You get what I mean? It's just like, and some women are just not as um, strong or maybe confident. I would rather use confident, that they believe that they could do it, and they maybe, listen, they grew up maybe dependent and they don't know better. And that's also the problem of nowadays society, the way we grew up, our situations, especially in this Western world where, we have a lot of families that are not together anymore, and you grew up in an alcohol and blah 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 blah. And it's also something that we need to, and again, being more emotional, you understand, we take more upon ourselves and to our heart than we maybe should. But and I understand, I like, it's hard for me to relate to certain stories, and it's hard for me to understand it as well. And I would also be like, why don't you do this? And then you get an answer, yeah, but I've done it, and I didn't do it once, I've done it million of times and it's not getting better. But me, like, the last thing I want to do is to advise to a person, like, listen, gather your balls together and just walk out of the door, because I also know what it takes. You got what I mean? It's so much. Like, you can't, and you want to be there for a person, and you want to stand there, and you want to listen, and you want to understand to your best abilities, and then compare and maybe complain about your situation. You got what I mean? It's like, it's an ongoing thing. And I think that I really, again, I wish that maybe the mentality that you just, spoke out, and Pedro also, that every man would feel like that, and see it like that, and have the same vision, and, this uplifting women as well, regardless of not being equal or whatever, just acknowledging it and respecting it.
No, Tiasha,
Yeah.
we are not even talking of being equal or not being equal.
No, but I made a statement, Pedro. I just made a
Yeah, of
statement that
course.
regardless
I,
of whatever, that's what I meant. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
I got your
I know
statement.
it's not the matter of that, but it's just like, let's put all that we spoke about now in a
Yeah.
basket, and just,
There is a
know.
practical issue here. There is an issue that needs to be resolved here practically. And the best way to go about it is the things that we've said. And as you guys will have seen, even in the comment section, almost everybody are agreeing. Using that example that you brought in the discussion, that the best thing to be done in that to have been done in that situation is to sit down and talk. A lot of people
Yeah.
lack clarity in their life. We think Tiasha, you were even the one that just brought it to my knowledge recently, because I was saying we're in 2024, for goodness sake. I expect so much from people this time
Yeah.
around, but unfortunately, that is not the case. And
Mm,
some things are very, very simple. Even this thing called marriage is one of the most beautiful things, as far as I'm concerned, in the world. That, look, marriage could be very, very manageable. There are just two things. Even listening to the example that you brought, this thing now that we're talking about, it's just issue with communication.
hmm
And secondly, that
Understanding a little bit.
to me, that is communication leads to understanding. When
Well, yeah, if you
both
want to.
parties understood each other, then they could understanding. We could arrive at understanding. And
Yeah.
secondly, people should not be timid to talk about finance. When I mean finance in this aspect, especially when it comes
Yep.
to house management, I am not asking you to be a millionaire or even a thousandaire. With the little that you have, EC told us on this show some time back, about 3 weeks ago, that look, no matter the salary, there is what they call 50, 30, 20.
hmm
Or so it doesn't matter how much you earn, there is a way to budget about things in life. People believe that if I pay extra for one particular thing to take away stress away from me, people don't see the intrinsic value of spending money. They only look at the physical money that is going to go away from their hand. Tiasha,
hmm
I'm a man. If paying a nanny will make my wife happy and make her feel relaxed and give me the best of her time as a man, I'm ready to spend my half salary to do it.
Hey, that's great. But you, can
That's
I
it.
tell you, please? Can I please tell
Yes.
you what? a particular case of a man will think about back. I'm
I
not
know.
paying for what you can do.
Perfect. That is also an option. Then the woman, her independence and everything, this is where we expect it to kick in. Can she work to pay somebody to come and clean her? I can't do it. I will work from my salary instead of bringing it to buy food or whatsoever in this house. I'll use it to pay somebody because I can't do it.
Well, but
I
here
don't
is the
want to pay
problem.
myself.
The case I just explained. The woman
Yes.
cannot work extra because she needs to work around the time that suits her kids.
Yes, Tasha, what have we been saying? They have to sit down and work these things out. You know, we
And
are just talking
I
here. We use
agree.
it
sorry,
as one
sorry,
I
example, but we
excuse
agree.
can't
me.
even substitute them. We
Sorry,
cannot
excuse me
substitute
before I
them.
forget this.
Okay.
Sorry, I forget this. For what Tasha explained, one of the major issue with this lady or some of this lady that find themselves in such situation is self-confidence.
Yes,
If you look at it, there is no single problem here. The problem is the thought, the mindset of the
I
lady.
I
So
I also agree.
at the end of the day, such people are always the problem of themselves and look for a way to blame it on others. See,
I mean,
as a lady, as a man,
ah,
as a woman, you should be self-confident at all times. Do you know that this society or in this present world now, both men and women will lack self-confidence. We lack it. I saw a story the other day and all that. The girl felt bad because she was not validated by her friends that she was, maybe there was a kind of something that she was expecting for these people to say, but quite unfortunate, those people didn't say anything that she was expecting. They expressed themselves according to how they feel about her. Then now she was offended. Not only being offended, she was not timid, very timid, in such a way she wants to harm herself. But I said this is 2024 where we have everything, and there are so many laws and all that to protect individual, every individual, whatever you want to be, you can be that. Nobody should say anything to hurt you and all that. But yet we be hurt and we try to blame it on others. Okay, so many a times, most things that we see as problem, they are not problem. They are just self-confident, lack of self-ability. But later we find it to be a kind of a problem of there are things you can do for yourself without your man or your woman
I
doing it for
I
you.
I
And
agree, and I
there are
said
some
it.
things I know that my wife can do. She can do it herself. From now till 10 years time, if she's expecting me to do it, I know it, I will never. I can never do it. Let her not do that thing and feel maybe it's my fault. I cannot do it. Especially if I know that she can do this. If I know that she can do this and this is what she should have done, I will fold my hands and be looking. Because first and foremost, as a person, as an individual, without me, we just met to assist each other to better each other. If I see a place to better you, obviously I will do it with all my being. I will do it. But still, just like I cannot have faith for you. I can preach for you, I can preach to you, I can educate you, but I cannot help you to be intelligent. I cannot take exams for some exams for you. I know there are some exams I can help you with, but actually, let's say maybe for driving, I can do it for you. I can teach you, but I cannot help you with the exams. The theory, I cannot help you with it. The practical, I cannot help you with it. But I may give you a car. I may buy you a car. So in some ways, Do not sympathize. And there are other things that I've seen in this generation. For whatever reason, we used to scold people before. Our both white, black, it doesn't matter the race. We used to scold people, tell them you are wrong. This is what you should have done, or do this. We're all confident, but now we don't do that. We gotta say if you want or if you like. No, tell this lady, step up. You are a lady, step up. For God's sake, you are a human being. Step up. Nobody's your
Yes,
problem. You
Frank,
understand?
have
You
you
got you got
have you
step.
listened to me? Have you
No, I
listened to me
listen to
when I
you.
told you?
I listen
No,
to
but
you
I told
perfectly,
you. But yeah, and
and it's not
that's why I'm
living.
stopping you.
Wait,
No,
wait.
because
Another
I
Can
thing.
I
told you.
Allow
can I
Bina
say
to
Listen,
speak.
something?
Allow Bina to
I
speak.
Can I say something? Thank you so
I
much. I'm sorry that I came late. I was in a seminar. I just came from a seminar, and I may be leaving before the end of the podcast because I have to prepare for another seminar tomorrow. But concerning what I've been hearing since I joined the conversation tonight, um, I just want to touch on a few things. And one of the things I want to touch on is the number one, we have to bear in mind because I believe we're talking about marriage. Number one, we need to know that marriage is hard work. A lady was saying the other day when I was listening, she said when she was single, she kept on hearing, go and marry and settle down, marry and settle down, marry and settle down, marry and settle down. Now she's married, but since she got married, she has been looking for the settling down and she has not found one.
It
Why?
does not
Because
exist.
because she has been there, she got married, taking care of the husband, and after a year or so, she became pregnant, went through the pregnancy stage. It's not been easy. She put to bed. Now it has become taking care of the husband, taking care of the child. And as she's doing that, another child came again, another pregnancy came again. She has been looking for the settling down in the marriage that they have been telling her, but she has not found any. So what does that mean? That means that marriage is hard work not just for the woman, but for the man. So, and it is not for young, it is not for children. It's not for boys, it's not for girls, it's for matured men and matured women who are willing to give their best to make it work. Now, that said, the second thing I would like to put in here is that concerning what Tasha said, concerning her story about the woman that is no longer confident of herself. You see, most times when I talk to people, I usually reference the Bible because I have discovered over time that the Bible is the only book that has not been updated, but the writings, the scriptures therein are true to life. In fact, they have helped us in many ways to become people of value. Now, if you look at what the Bible says that a wise woman will build her home. A wise woman, build, not just a woman, a wise one. So if you are a home builder, you are seen to be wise. So when you are building your home as a woman, don't do it because don't think you are foolish. You are wise. In fact, the Bible calls you wise. So as you are building your home, just see yourself as a wise woman. Because the contrary statement of that particular scripture is that a foolish woman tears down her home with her own hands. So whatever it is that you are doing to build your home, that is wisdom. But there's another thing that people don't understand from that particular scripture. A man was created before the woman, like we all know. A man was created before the woman. But God gave the responsibility of home building to the woman. But he did not leave it at that. If the woman is building the home, if that wise woman is building who is now building that woman? So that is where the man will have to come in to build the woman. Now, how do you build somebody? By teaching the person. Now, how are you able to teach somebody if you have not been taught yourself? If you have not built yourself? You understand? So the only avenue I see here in that story is that the man is not being responsible, because you have to build your wife. As you are building your wife, she is building the home. After all, the home belongs to the both of you. And when a home is properly built, the both parties will benefit from the home. So these are my 2 cents. Now, another thing we have to understand is this. When it comes to a home, it is a collective phenomenon. It is something that must be done collectively. You are the one that decided that you wanted to marry this woman. This woman is the one that you agreed. It's not that you were not coerced in the first place. So you must be willing to do all it takes to build the home. As I speak to you tonight, I'm going to, as soon as I leave this place, I'll go and mop. After taking my bath tonight, I'll mop the bedroom. I won't say because it's my wife, they are the one that messed it up. No, you must learn to come in as a man. You don't leave it for the woman. She's doing her own part. My wife, maybe Pedro is aware, I believe Mr. Frankie aware, my wife put to bed some months ago, and it's not been easy. So if I play blind eye, who will do it? At the end of the day, she will break down, and I'll be the one that will suffer it. I'll be the one that will stay away from work. So it is wisdom for me, and it is peace of mind for me to help in the family.
And profitable.
It's profitable for me to help whatever way I can help. I've been okay today. My wife wanted me to do some errands. I ran some errands for her. You know, what am I doing? I'm contributing, because I want my children, when they grow and see me doing these things, and finally they go to their own homes, they will continue in that light because they saw their father doing this thing. They won't say, my father said, they wash plates. My father said, they wash bedroom. My father said, they do this one, so I will not do. No. Because one of the things that children do is that they don't learn from what you speak, what you tell them alone. They learn from your action, from what you do. So let us be selfless when it comes to the home. Personally speaking, my home is a place where I am free. I've never been free. Pedro, you know me, I'm a strict person. I'm a kind of stern person outside. But this is the only place that I am free to express myself, because this is like a cradle for me. You understand? So I try my best to make this place peaceful. If I don't help in doing these things, I come back and I see my wife nervous. That night I will not sleep. And I need my sleep so that I'll go to work the following day and then be proactive even at the place of work. You understand? So let us understand that home building is very essential, not just for the man, but not just for the woman alone, but for the man. But if the man has a place to come in, why not? And one of the ways to come is to build your woman. I am a public speaker. I engage in public activities. Like I said, I'll have a seminar tomorrow again. I'm going to prepare for it tonight before I go to bed, so that I can, deliver the following day. And my wife likes this kind of thing. So I'm also teaching her. And funny enough, she's also learning to speak in public. This is a woman that does not speak in public before. This is a woman that is too shy when we met to handle the microphone. But now she's bold to do these things. How did it happen? I was able to imbibe that spirit into her. So let us learn as men to build, because when these women begin to do these things, when these women begin to flourish, we are the one that will reap from the dividend. It's only a man that is, how do I put it, that is timid, or a man that, I want to put it in a polite way. I'm trying my best to. It's a man that
Just say it.
Go for
Don't be
it.
polite. Don't be polite. Don't be polite.
That's not my kind of person. If I'm with somebody, I want the person to blossom, because when you blossom and they say, this is Mr. Obina's wife, it will give me joy. I will benefit from. Look at Okonjo-Iweala, Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala, doing wonderful things all over the world. It's somebody's wife. That man was the one that built these things in the woman. The woman was not like that when they met. But today, the woman is a global phenomenon. She's a global personality. So I will encourage every man, build your wife as your wife is building the home. And I will also let every woman know, whatever you are doing to build your home, that is wisdom. Keep doing it. Keep at it. Sooner or
Yes.
later, you will reap from the dividends of it. Don't see it as if you are being used. Don't see that. I think one of the things I heard was that somebody is trying to. Women are not. How do I go? Women are not safe, or women feels they are not complete. No, that shouldn't be the idea. As you are doing whatever you are doing to build your home, let the man build you as well, and be teachable.
Exactly.
Another thing I've come to understand is that the major problem of families, of couples, are divided into two major. One of them is finance. The other one is conjugal responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And by conjugal responsibility, I mean sex, lightly put, or frankly put. You understand? So these are the two areas. So when you discover that these are the two major areas, every other thing is secondary. Most times, a woman can be telling you, trying to communicate some things to you. You might be finding it difficult to understand. But if you are somebody that is well read, you should know that what she's saying might not really be the issue. There is another issue that she's not saying. I said on this show
Yes.
sometime ago, listen to what the woman is not saying rather than what she's saying. Because what she's not saying is exactly what she's saying.
Exactly.
Learn to listen to these things and
Yeah.
act
Yes.
upon them. If you need to read books, read them. If you need to listen to audiobooks, listen to them.
That's my
And
best.
be determined to work with it. Be determined to don't just listen or read books and then leave them there. Be determined to let this thing be a
To
determination.
work with
Just
it.
take it as if
Yeah.
you want to do an exam.
Exactly.
Mr. Frank was saying that
Exactly.
you were saying that you wouldn't have to drive for this. You wouldn't have to drive. Yes, you wouldn't have to drive, but you can teach. You can teach. My wife has driving license. My wife got driving license last year, April. I taught her to the
That's
letter.
exactly what
I
Frank
taught,
said. He said he can teach, but he cannot drive for the person.
yes, but that's what I'm still saying what she said. You'll be able to
Mhm.
teach to the last, teach to the letter, imbibe the knowledge. Because when she actually begins to drive, you are the one that will benefit. There will be a day you say, I don't feel like going to, darling, take this kid, just go and get some things, take the kids out. And you relax and do other things. You understand? So it is unity. When a couple are united, the height to which they can get to cannot be overemphasized. So I
At
will
all.
say that as the woman is building, she should know that she's not foolish. She's wise. She's imbibing. She's doing what the scripture says. And as the woman is building the home, the man should be building her, teaching her. Because if she's building her, she's like you. Because the Bible told me that he that waters shall be watered also. As she's watering the home, you as a man, you are watering her by teaching her. And for you to teach somebody, you must have gone to a certain level. So that when you are teaching the person, you are teaching from what you have already learned. Because you don't give what you don't have. So you must be knowledgeable as well. So this is my little saying, my 2 cents on what you are saying. I will have to
Th-
leave at this point so that I can go and prepare for what I need to do tomorrow. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so very
Pedro.
much,
I
Obin. I
promised you
appreciate it.
that I'll be here. So thank
Thank
you very much.
you.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. All right.
All right, brother. Bye
Mr.
bye.
Prof, bye
Yeah.
bye.
Thank
See
you so
you.
much. Thank you. Thank you.
The thing is that
So,
just like I was, just
excuse
hold
me,
on,
Pedro.
Obina. Hmm?
Every person, I think I have to go now as well because this is 11. I have to go now. Please.
We are calling it a day as well. So there is no
Okay.
better points to what needs to be said concerning this particular topic, in my opinion, has been said already.
Okay.
The summary of the whole thing is that they have to sit down and work these things out.
That's just
That is
it.
just
Working
nobody else is gonna
together. Mm-hmm.
nobody else is gonna do this for them. And
That's
like
right.
I was saying earlier on, the two of you were not here. I think Obina kind of touched on the things that with which I established the show this evening.
Yeah.
In a marriage, there has to be a vision.
Of
One
course.
cannot be going east and the other one is going west, and you
Less.
expect them to be able to. It's not going to work.
That is
And I
one of
repeat,
the
for
things.
anybody listening to us tonight, we are not here to fight among the genders, woman, man, or whatsoever. That is not our mission here. We
Yeah.
understood the problem, we have diagnosed it, and now we are proposing a solution. And one of the solutions we genuinely believe, irrespective of your financial situation or not, if that's even a problem in it as well, communication is central to anything. Good
That's right.
communication will bring understanding. And I know that some of you listening to me, especially the female folks, might be angry when I said for a fact that women talk, but they are not the best communicators, quote and unquote. Quote me anywhere. I am ready to defend myself and bring examples, the reason why I said what I said. So my aim is not to offend anyone, but like they say, the taste of a pudding is in the eating. If we said that we are the best of this thing, there should be a result to back it up. So let us not get ourselves confused with things that are not particularly helping the situation. If you genuinely unite with your husband, your person, whoever it is, learn to work with each other. Sit down and talk. Every problem have their own specific solution. Another thing that I will say tonight, my dear people, is that assumption key friendship. Imagine what assumption will do to a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking if I had done it the other way, if I had remained in my country, I didn't move with him here, and then it will just destroy the marriage. You wouldn't even have the energy to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And expectation, thinking, comparison. Most of the time, expectation, wrong expectation that we have of other people comes from comparison of ourselves with others as well. So this particular lady we have used as an example tonight, I can guarantee you, if she gets to know what is going on within the four corners of other families that she may have been looking up to, she will be thanking her stars as well. She might be, I am not saying that her situation is the best of it. And I'm not even justifying that anybody going through a situation that is worse than hers is something that should be tolerated. But what am I just saying is this. At times, we may think that we live in the worst of the situation. It might not really be it. But if we could just seek help. I'm happy that she's already talking to Tiasha already. And I believe that, I hope she watched this video as well. Let at least Tiasha, please pass it around. Let her watch. Let her hear from us.
What is my job? Okay, Pedro, what is my job?
I know. So she's not alone. She's not alone. We all agree that we do not tolerate violence or domestic abuse, either psychologically or otherwise. Her validation is important, but it should come within the right context. And she should understand the situation that she finds herself as well. It is not because that she does not have money. It is not because that the law of the land where she lives cannot protect her. It just has to be with her, putting her mind together, understanding her situation better, and even bringing up this issue to her husband. Her husband, I believe, maybe if she is not an a-hole, he will definitely come to understanding with her.
What? He's not what?
If he's not an a-hole, I'm trying to be politically correct, even though it's not part of me. I'm trying to say if it's not an
You know
asshole.
what? You always make me feel like I'm the bad part of this
No, you,
podcast because
no, you
I
are not a
go
bad. You
and
are not a bad
I just
person.
say it and I swear and I just don't care. And it's just like,
No, no, you are not a bad person because you swear. They say people that swear are very intelligent people, eh?
and you see, that's why I swear all the time. Imagine how intelligent I am.
Thank
Mind
It's
you
not
so
you,
very
true.
much,
m-
guys.
mind you now, right? Let me
And
be a little bit
you are a
like of
very
a
intelligent
feminist
woman.
right now.
You are a very
Do
intelligent
you
woman.
know that women's brain is 9% smaller than men's, right? But we
Yes,
Ah,
have
you
now.
shouldn't
equal
have told me
amount
this.
of brain cells. Imagine that. Hey,
Really?
what I can put in this head, you don't even know. Hey.
I know. That's the reason why I'm asking. To be very honest, guys, I see the way things operate around me, especially from my female folks. If I could, I don't think I can be able to
Frank,
resist. I don't know
play
who's
Yeah.
talking
drums
to.
when we are
What are you
gone.
doing?
He's like he's playing drums or what?
Mr. Frank. Anyway, guys, it was a great show today. I am so sorry that we stayed this long. I will tell myself 1 hour, 30 minutes, but whenever I get here, it's not my fault. It's the fault of all of you. It's not my fault at
Yeah.
all. I am not taking
Next
responsibility
time
for it.
we'll be giving
It's
us
not my fault either.
we'll be giving
50
ourselves
minutes per person.
10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Somebody will be timing. Your time is up. Stop, stop,
Yes.
stop. So that we'll be able to
Yeah.
be doing this program short.
Tiasha, we are
Okay.
planning against you. Can you?
No, I can be timed. I'll just
Pedro,
need
good
more
night.
rounds.
It's
All
a
right,
good
guys.
night,
Thank
Tasha.
you so
Good
very
night.
much, guys. Have a
Have a
blessed
great
weekend.
Bye.
night.
Okay,
It
thank
was a great show today.
Ciao.
you.
And
Ciao,
remember,
Pedro.
it is not personal.
Bye.
And although we
Bye.
argue, we shouted, it's not personal. This is it's a heated argument. The
It's
topic
not
is
with just
difficult. That's
family.
why.
It's just
What
family.
do you mean? I'm ready. I
Okay.
have my punching gloves there. I'm ready. I bought ticket now for Italy. I'm coming there. What are you talking about?
No problem. If you come, we are going to EC's place. We are going to
Oh
Viterbo. They
yes.
have a
Yeah.
lake. There is a lake that is branching off to Viterbo. Viterbo Lake, Lago di Viterbo. If I'm not mistaken.
No, we have
Yes, I
Lago
was
di
there.
Bracciano, we have
Okay,
Vico, and we have Busana.
perfecto. Bosano, see, I've been to that one of Bosano, so it's a very lovely place. When you are in town,
Yeah.
we all move there. All road leads to EC zone of Italy. So
Oh, you're
So it's
welcome.
not
You're
it's not all
welcome.
the roads leads to Rome anymore. She
okay,
took
of course.
over.
Very nice. Thank you so very much, guys. I really
Okay.
appreciate. Thank you, EC. Thank you,
Good night,
Tiasha.
rest.
It's a pleasure for
You're
me.
welcome.
Have a
Bye.
lovely weekend. Ciao, ciao. Bye,
Have
everyone.
a
Bye.
beautiful night, rest.
And you too.
Likewise.
Cheers.